We are just moments away from the start of the action here. Phil Dowd, the referee, in charge, just about to toss up with the two captains here. It's Manchester United against Chelsea. Already in the Premier League we've had a plethora of goals. Tottenham have beaten Liverpool by 4 goals to 0, but Liverpool did have 2 players sent off. Sunderland are already at half-time 3-0 up against Stoke, who may be suffering from a Europa League long travel hangover. And Manchester City have inched ahead against Fulham. They're ahead by 1 goal to 0 at half-time. Southampton continuing their merry way in the Empower Championship. They're beating Birmingham early in the second half by 3 goals to 0. And in the Clydesdale Bank Scottish Premier League, 6 goals between Rangers and Celtic. Rangers eventually coming out as winners by 4 goals to 2. And if you missed it earlier, in the Rugby World Cup, England beat Georgia by 41 points to 10. Wales came from behind at half-time to beat Samoa, the team they never beat in the World Cup, by 17 points to 10. And France beat Canada by 46 points to 19. Vincent Sanclerc managed to get a hat-trick. We're set fair and we're ready for the best game of the season so far. No one else between these two sides has won the Premier League title for the last 7 years. Will it be the two or one of them this season, or could there be an imposter who are playing in London today? Your commentary team here at Old Trafford: Mark Lawrenson, Mike Ingham, and first, John Murray.
The teams are ready. Referee Phil Dowd blows his whistle and Manchester United get the game underway on what is a lovely afternoon now, actually. Sun shining, blue sky above Old Trafford, good noise inside the place. I had to smile before the game when John Terry's name was read out. He was applauded to the rafters by the Manchester United supporters, who obviously won't let him forget the fact that he missed that penalty in Moscow. But United in possession. Chelsea have not got a touch yet. Let me run you through the sides in full. United with De Gea in goal, Smalling, Jones, Evans and Evra. Rio Ferdinand is sitting to our left in the director's box, not involved at all today. Midfield of Nani, Fletcher, first league appearance of the season, Anderson and Young, with Hernandez and Rooney. And Chelsea, who've still not touched the ball yet, playing 4-5-1 system. Ball played over the top for Manchester United. Hernandez is after it, but Ashley Cole's going to allow it to run out.
I think, John, they might be playing 4-1-4-1, just the way that they're set up, Chelsea.
Yep.
It looks as though Sturridge will be on the right, Mata on the left of a 4, and Torres virtually on his own up front.
So the goalkeeper is Cech, Bosingwa, Ivanovic, Terry and Cole. The back line, Morelos, Sturridge, Ramirez, Lampard and Mata, with Torres. So Torres gets his first touch to head the ball on for Sturridge, who chased after it but wasn't going to reach that as it ran through to De Gea, back in goal for Manchester United after Lindegaard's performance during the week. Lindegaard, as he mentioned after the game on Wednesday night, may well be picking his nose again in the director on the bench. United, red shirts, white shorts, black socks. Chelsea in the almost all blue kit with the white trim. Here's Young, early drive forward from him, but that's way beyond anyone in red, and it's through for a goal kick. There's a try in the Super League playoff at Wigan. Stuart Pike.
Big try as well. St Helens have got their third. Paul Wellens, the 199th of his career. How important could it prove to be? It's now Wigan 12, St Helens 20.
Cech just taking this goal kick in front of the Stretford end to our left. Substitutes as well, by the way, today. United: Berbatov, Giggs, Park, Carrick, Fabio, Valencia, and, as I mentioned, Lindegaard. Here's Sturridge now for Chelsea. Just turns out of a challenge, gives it back to Lampard. Lampard now flicks it over the top for Cole. Cole volleys it across. Ramirez is there with a shot, and De Gea almost caught out by it. Saves it with his right foot.
Correct me if I'm not mistaken, John. I think he conceded a goal against Arsenal just like that. This time he made much better contact with his right foot. In the end, it's a good save, isn't it?
Well, he was falling to his left with the ball going to his right, and as I say, he kicked it. He saved it with a kick behind for a throw-in.
It suggests his position isn't quite right, doesn't it?
Well, that is what it suggests. And now Hernandez piled into by Ivanovic, 10 yards inside his own half. Free kick United.
Sorry, just to add insult to injury in terms of Liverpool's day, Mike Riley's in the director's box. Is it the wrong game?
I just noticed that. If Kenny Dalglish is back in his car, he'll be amused to hear that. Well, maybe. Chelsea substitutes: Luiz, Romeu, Mikel, Malouda, Lukaku Anelka and Turnbull. Long ball forward from the right from Manchester United, from Smalling, but it just bounces through to Cech. Mention of the great and good who are here. Jeff Boycott is among them. Manchester United fan through and through, despite his Yorkshire links. As Evra steers the ball back towards De Gea, who looks one way and then plays it back to Evra, who I don't think was expecting it to come to him, with Sturridge so close to the goalkeeper, but it's out for a throw.
He tried to give Sturridge the eyes, thinking he was going to pass it inside to Evans, and Sturridge read it knowing it was going to Evra, and it cut his angle off.
Yeah, gave Evra the eyes. Throw in to Chelsea. Basingwa to Sturridge, who's on his left foot. Just a little toe poke from Evra to take it away. It's been another goal at Craven Cottage. Simon Mann.
Another goal for Manchester City, another goal for Sergio Aguero, and it came within 10 seconds of the restart for the second half. Long ball upfield, it was knocked down to Aguero, and he finished from the edge of the penalty area into the far corner. Fulham 0, Manchester City 2.
I think that is 8 for Aguero now, isn't it? Level with Rooney.
When you pay that sort of money, that's the kind of player you want.
Ball given away. Torres now running at the United defence. Evans, good challenge. Sturridge then tries one from 25 yards plus, which he drags, as the crowd reaction will have told you, well wide of the goal by 6 yards or so for a goal kick. So in the sunshine, bright sunshine now here, it is 0-0.
That's why Jeff Boycott's got his hat on.
Well, it must be. I don't think he goes too far without his hat.
He'll take his potatoes home, and it's that big.
Yes. Actually, mention of Jeff Boycott reminds me that another title came to Old Trafford this week, didn't it?
Yeah.
The other Old Trafford, even though Lancashire didn't play any of their games there this season.
They played in the microclimate, Southport, Liverpool, Blackpool. That's why they've won it.
That was the secret of the success. Here's Anderson in centre field. Almost half the pitch in sunshine and half in shade. As Anderson passes it to Young on the left-hand side. And now Rooney. First time he's really got involved in the game. Just holds it in between Morelos and Sturridge. And then a touch from Evra back to the halfway line. Evans in possession. Just to underline the young team against old team facts and figures. Manchester United team on the pitch now. 10 of them are 27 and under. As Hernandez gives it to Rooney, who goes back towards the centre circle. Turns, faces forward. Here's Young on the left-hand side. Young with Evra outside him. He's the only 30-something in the United team, but he's beaten by Basingwa, who will play it away. Meanwhile, Chelsea, 8 of them are 27 or over. Basingwa finds touch near the halfway line, and it's a throw-in to Manchester United. In fact, it's given us halfway inside the Chelsea half. Evra takes it. Young on his right foot. Plays it forward towards Hernandez. Ivanovic was there first. Fletcher then. He's challenged strongly by Ramirez. Anderson now to Young. Young didn't quite get it right to give the pass back to Basingwa, who then fouled him. And it's a free kick to Manchester United on the left.
Yeah, just a period of play from Manchester United, which is forcing Chelsea back slowly but surely.
So the free kick for United. First chance for them to threaten with a set piece. 6 red shirts lined up along the edge of the Chelsea penalty area. Young is going to take this, standing with one foot in front of the other and his right arm raised high. Young's delivery towards the back post is headed into the net. It's Smalling who was there with a header to power it past Petr Cech, and Manchester United have an 8-minute lead. So simple. Delivery from Young and the header into the net from Chris Smalling, and it's Manchester United 1, Chelsea 0.
Yeah, just whips in right-footed, vicious pace. And the key to this, John, is for the players who are going to get in the box to move before the free kick is taken, which is exactly what happens, because then you get a run on the defenders, and it's a great header by Smalling. Well, you'd have to say in terms of Chelsea's defensive line, it was poor.
I think he might have just been offside. I think he may have just been beyond the last defender, Smalling.
I'm not sure if they highlighted one of the other players was offside rather than
I think there were 2 of them, and I think Smalling was one of them.
Okay.
Just got a glance of that. However, as Mike said to me before the game, look in the paper in the morning.
Yeah. The studio let us know, though, won't they?
I would think so, yes. So 1-0. But there's the first contentious incident. Mike Riley watching in the director's box here. And big decision from the assistant. And I just got a feeling that Smalling was just offside as Young played it in. But he powerfully headed it in. Remember the goal that he scored in the Community Shield against Manchester City, Chris Smalling? Well, that's his first in the Premier League for Manchester United. So it's the right back who scores the goal. 1-0, the early goal for United, as Rooney in possession. To Anderson on the halfway line. Then to Rooney again, and then Anderson. And United now have the swagger. As I say that, Jones passes it straight out of play for a throw into Chelsea halfway inside their own half. Oh, Cole with a slip. Recovered quickly, and he had to as well, because Nani was all over him. Lampard. And Chelsea haven't been able to settle in the game at all yet.
No, they're just going through a spell here where they can't get the ball out of their own half, can they? That's going to be the problem with just Torres up front as well.
Chelsea were the last team to beat Manchester United here at Old Trafford, as Carlo Ancelotti's team were heading to the title the season before that. And it is an extraordinary run here of success that Manchester United have had. 34 matches in all competitions. Indeed, they have won their last 19 home games in all of the various competitions, and already 1-0 up today against Chelsea. Bosingwa now with the ball on the right-hand side. Bosingwa with Ashley Young. Now to Torres. Torres slips it forward towards Sturridge. Evans has gone with him. Sturridge tries to pull it back for Torres, but hits the shins of Evans, and it's behind the Chelsea corner from the right-hand side. 10 minutes on the clock, and Manchester United already in front. It took them a little longer than it did the last time they met here in May to get in front. Then it was 36 seconds. But it's not too shabby to score in the 8th minute. Corner taken by Chelsea, by Mata. Mata's cross now as he gets it back towards the back post. It's headed back across, but De Gea comes and makes an unchallenged catch. And he rakes it out with a low kick to the right-hand side, where Hernandez loses possession. So we'll head to Andy Gillis again, who's seen a few goals in the Southampton-Birmingham game. Where's the latest one gone, Andy?
Fourth of the day here, Southampton 3, Birmingham 1. Birmingham pulling one back with a Chris Wood free kick. It was virtually directly in front of goal, inside the D. He struck it low, past the wall, past the keeper. Southampton 3, Birmingham 1.
With Manchester City still 2-0 up at Fulham, and Sunderland winning 3-0 against Stoke City, as the cross from the right-hand side from Bosingwa lands on the roof of De Gea's net. He clutched a hold of the crossbar, but it was always going onto the roof of the net. So goal kick, Manchester United leading 1-0. Mark Lawrenson's with us here.
Well, I think the difference there a little bit. If obviously Drogba had been in the team, that would have just been whipped in first time by the right back. We're just looking at the goal, John, there. Was he offside again? I was starting to talk. Somebody that came up on the monitor. The monitor is so small.
Oh, given away by Anderson. Torres is in. Torres shoots wide. Really should have scored, and he scuffed the shot. Missed it by 2 feet.
Well, you know, the great thing about this basically is the Torres of 18 months ago would have scored that goal, John. He got his little half a yard, hits it early, first time, and because obviously he's so low on confidence, he's tried to hit it too hard, and he's dragged the ball wide of the far post.
Terrible mistake by Anderson.
It was.
Passed it straight to Torres, who then went between Anderson and Evans. Just, I don't know. You know, that was a golden opportunity for Torres to score his first of the season.
And am I right in thinking that Smalling was on? Is that right? Did I hear that?
Yeah. I must say the replay I saw, I thought it looked as though two of them were offside. Hearing it might have been one of the other runners who was offside. Well, we'll see anyway at half-time. Here's Nani, crossed it straight onto the head of Torres. Are those your glasses?
I'll just see if you wanted to borrow them.
Well, I'm going to reserve judgment until I've seen it again myself. Here's Anderson, just forward of the centre circle. Fletcher might have been caught there. Referee Dowd has played advantage, and then Anderson has given it away twice. He had two chances there and gave it away on both occasions. Now Ramirez worrying from the deep with it. Gives it to the right-hand side to Sturridge inside the penalty area. Sturridge up against Evans, who gets a foot in. Wanted too much time, Sturridge. Comes back to Lampard, shot. Deflected wide for a corner.
Yeah, it was a bit of a loopy shot when it got the deflection from Lampard as well, wasn't it? Quick break by Chelsea, though. That's the way they're going to have to be here today.
Mata is going to take it. Been impressed by what we've seen of him so far. And here he is, already scored a couple of goals. One of them in the Champions League on Wednesday night. And little Mata is going to take this corner from the left-hand side. Here it comes towards Ivanovic with a header, but it's straight at De Gea, who's able to catch it. A bit like someone in the slips, that actually, De Gea, who just threw his hands up and caught it over his head.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's not got a cap on. Sunny, isn't it?
1-0 to Manchester United. As for Manchester City, Simon Mann.
Fulham have got a goal back here, 10 minutes into the second half. Some slack defending as well from City. It was a nice move from Fulham, but Zamora had time just inside the penalty area to turn and shoot past Hart. Fulham 1, Manchester City 2.
Manchester United on the move here. Young with it on the left-hand side. Still Young, back heel. Evra gets away from Sturridge and then crosses it straight into Morelos, and it ricochets back out this side for a throw-in to United. 10 yards back from the corner flag. Evra receives the ball from spectators who are on their feet in the front row of the south stand here, the same stand that we're sitting in. Young with it on his right-hand side, dappled sunlight through the transparent areas of the roof above our heads. Jones now to the right-hand side. The goal scorer, Smalling, is there, gives it back to Jones. Jones now a low ball towards the edge of the area. Hernandez was there, but it bounced off him, and Morelos will play it away. Lampard now up to Torres, who loses it. Just taken away from him by Rooney. And now Evans, the long ball towards Young, who heads it straight at Cech, who's able to pick it up like a back pass. So Manchester United 1, Chelsea 0 here at Old Trafford on BBC 5 Live. And there's been another try at Wigan. Stuart Pike.
A big try for St Helens, John. They now lead 26-12. Louis McCarthy Scarsbrook crashing over from close range, and it means Wigan have got to score 3 tries in 18 minutes to pinch this one. It's Wigan 12, St Helens 26.
And to Wearside, where there's been another goal. Peter Slater.
Well, when did this last happen, John? Sunderland 4 now, Stoke City 0. Sebastian Larsson, lovely free kick just on the edge of the penalty area after 58 minutes. Sunderland 4, Stoke City 0.
And that's Stoke's unbeaten start to the season ending spectacularly. Who would have predicted that scoreline? As Sturridge overhits a cross with his left foot way beyond Torres and through for a goal kick.
If you look at those Europa League results, or the teams, apart from Tottenham, who completely changed their team, Birmingham are getting well beaten, aren't they? Fulham are getting beaten. And obviously Stoke are going to get well beaten today. All the Europa League teams.
Yeah. News from the Aviva Premiership comes from James Burridge.
18-6 to Saracens here. It took the champions a while to get going against Worcester, but their 2 tries in the 10 second half minutes ultimately proved the difference. Tries from Strettle and Brad Barrett means that they've won 2 games in a row here. Worrying news is that Scout Brits, their talismanic cooker, left the field on the stretcher.
Manchester United 1-0 up on Chelsea, and attacking again. Nani away from Ivanovic. Ivanovic bounces off him, and Nani wins a corner. I think that's a real indication of the strength that Nani now has, in that, you know, one of the bigger Chelsea players really put some contact on him there and just bounced off Nani, who won the corner from the left-hand side, just next to the tunnel at Old Trafford. Young takes it, standing rather daintily down the little slope there is. And coming up now to take it, and Cech comes all in grey and makes a comfortable catch. The groans and gasps from the United supporters as Phil Jones arrived on the scene and narrowly missed the ball.
It wasn't far away.
Jones back in central defence today, having played at right back in the victory at Bolton. And Ferdinand missing again today. We know not what the extent of whatever problem it is that Rio Ferdinand has. So again, we've got this youthful back line and defence indeed, if you include De Gea in that. Only Evra at left back, with a wealth of experience, you would say, of football at the very top level. Now here is Jones again. Fletcher now, good to see him back for Manchester United after the problems that he's had, that virus. It's been so debilitating. Anderson now plays a ball through for Evra to reach, but that's optimistic. Bosingwa gives it back to Cech, who had to clear first time under pressure from Hernandez, and as a result it's landed at the feet of Rooney, and then Nani is caught there right in the middle of the Chelsea half, and it's a free kick to Manchester United.
Is he going to get booked, Ashley Cole, do you think? Just to have a word with him, the referee.
Well, John Terry is speaking on his behalf, and Ashley Cole, I think, is just going to be ticked off. Nani turned, and as he turned, he was caught by Ashley Cole.
Yeah, it was clever play from Nani, because Rooney gave him the ball, John, so that basically Nani would give it him back, the old 1-2, and Nani feinted to do so and just cut it inside. I think Cole had gambled and caught him.
Borderline yellow card.
Yes.
Could have been.
Yeah, certainly not one you'd have got at Stamford Bridge being Ashley Cole, but possibly at Manchester United.
Yeah. So as a result, the card stays in Phil Dowd's pocket. 1-0 to Manchester United if you've just joined us. Manchester City winning 2-1 at Fulham in the 3 o'clock kickoff. Sunderland 4-0 up on Stoke, and Southampton 3, Birmingham 1 in the Championship in the games that are in progress. So a free kick to Manchester United, and it's 30 yards out, possibly even a little bit more. Only one contender. It's Rooney with his right foot, who plays it out to the right-hand side to Nani in the full-back position, facing Cole. Still Nani, pulls it back. Anderson with his back to goal, working it. He's all on his left foot, finally uses his right. Now the cross from Nani towards the back post. Evans is there. He pulls it across. It bounces near the penalty spot. Oh, I think Lampard headed it against his own arm there. The howls from the Manchester United supporters for a penalty, but Lampard, I mean, he headed it and inadvertently into his own arm.
That wasn't a pen, was it? I think Rooney said something to the referee. The rest of the United lads haven't bothered. It was just all the Hillman Hunters in front of us here, wasn't it?
Punters, by the way. And it is Chelsea with Ramirez, who runs it from inside his own half, and now to Sturridge. Sturridge back to Ramirez, has a little look. Ramirez now just pokes it straight into Evra, and Chelsea still in this game, 20 minutes played, have not really got started against Manchester United.
Just that Torres chance, John. That's
Torres
about
chance,
it. Sum total.
The Ramirez effort early on in the game. Here's Mata. Now, for a start, he's not got into the game at all. Mata to Bosingwa, who pulls it towards the back post, and it's headed away by the goal scorer Smalling, out to Sturridge, who went for the spectacular dropping volley. He had lots of time to think about that, and he scuffed it well wide.
That was a problem. Lots of time to think about it. Come to me a little bit quicker, and just hit it normally.
So United, after this unbeaten start that they've made, just like Chelsea, I watched 2 unbeaten teams yesterday play out a 1-1 draw at Villa Park. And in this one, it's the home side who've got the advantage. Here's Torres to Sturridge on the right-hand side. Blue shirts pouring forward. Mireles. Sturridge takes the tangle with Rooney. Comes to Lampard, who hits wide. Jones went with him.
I'm just smiling. Rooney completely blocked Sturridge off down this side, you know. Sturridge is lambasting the assistant linesman here, assistant referee, whatever you want to call him, just in front of us. But Rooney just took a step across and thought, you're never ever going to pass me, by the way.
But there, Chelsea had 4 players pouring forward.
Yes.
You know, that was positive from Villas-Boas's team.
Sorry, I was going to say, Anderson started very sort of poorly for United. Keeps getting caught in possession.
Yeah, he's been the fly in the ointment, really, for Manchester United so far in the game. 1-0 to United, nevertheless. And here is Lampard now in centre field. It's Mata in centre field. Just rolls his foot over the ball for no particular reason other than to impress.
The fact that he can do it.
Yeah. Now to Cole on the left-hand side. And Ashley Cole, it's all now static again for Chelsea. Torres drops deep. Torres now tries to go around the outside of Jones, who stands up strong, and then there is contact there. Jones goes flying, and referee Dowd immediately gives the free kick against Torres and against Chelsea. So we have reached the midway point of the first half. Manchester United leading Chelsea through Chris Smalling's 8-minute header, and Mike Ingham will take up the commentary once we've come back from Stuart Pike at Wigan.
Now the Super League playoff game boiling up, John. 13 minutes to go. Wigan back in it with a try from Joel Tompkins. So 8 points between the sides. Great game. Wigan 18, St Helens 26.
Thank you very much, Stuart, as Nani takes possession for Manchester United and finds Hernandez. No, he doesn't find Hernandez. And Hernandez used his hand anyway as he runs into Ivanovic. Just before then, interestingly, Torres tried to take Jones on for pace, and the pace wasn't there, Mark, was it?
No, it wasn't there. No, there was no fifth gear, was there? Great ball from Nani outside the right foot as well into Hernandez.
Well, you're listening to 5 Live on a sunny Sunday afternoon from Manchester. Big heavyweight clash. Manchester United 1, Chelsea 0. Smalling's goal in the 8th minute. Jones of Manchester United. This new look Manchester United. Evra, the captain, today in the absence of Ferdinand, trades passes with Young. Manchester United are not playing their preferred way, by the way, in the first half. They like to attack the Stretford end in the second half. But at the moment, they're in the lead, and it's all up to Chelsea now to try and respond. As Smalling looking strong on the halfway line. Fletcher into Hernandez, turns away from Terry, who tumbles over. Now Nani wide on the United right. Nani cuts in field against Ashley Cole, and now it's Fletcher in the penalty area, just held up by Ivanovic, but the cross may still come in from the Manchester United right. They work it back to Smalling, who loves to go forward whenever he can. Anderson now, square ball for Johnny Evans, who's halfway inside the Chelsea half. Rooney picks the ball up in the deep, flicks it down the right, asking an awful lot of Hernandez, and he won't reach that, and that's going to be a goal kick to Chelsea.
Yeah, I think Rooney thought that Hernandez, who was static at the time, might sort of run onto it. Wasn't the greatest pass in all honesty, but thinking about Manchester United as well, that there are always so many options. Just for a moment there, it looked as though there was nothing on for them, and Evans just strolled out from the back, the other side of Torres to join in and therefore commit another midfield player, Chelsea midfield player.
Reminding you of the other news today, Mark Lawrenson talking about the Europa League sides not faring well today, and we could have added Celtic to that list as well, of course. They lost 4-2 to Rangers in the early kick-off, having played in Madrid earlier. One or two United defenders shielding their eyes against the sun as they try and deal with the ball now on the edge of the area. United haven't cleared, and Ramirez was quickly in there, but then there's a good challenge from Johnny Evans, and now Young down this near side, the United left. Lovely take in midfield by Fletcher, moves the ball on to Nani. Great counter-attack in progress here for Manchester United. Nani for United, into the area. Rooney was poised, and in fact it turns out to be a great ball to the right from him, drilled in from Fletcher. Hernandez tumbles over. One or two players losing their footing early on here in the game, as Mata now clears for Chelsea, who will now come on a counter-attack with Bosingwa. Villas-Boas urging them forward now as Mata takes possession on the edge of the centre circle. Torres trying to stay onside. Ball played into Torres. Torres at Chelsea. They'll surely score. They haven't. Ramirez has missed it. Sturridge was there as well. De Gea made the save. Should have been one each though.
First thing we have to say, great move from Chelsea. Brilliant move. Ball slips into Torres. You think for a minute he comes in the penalty area, he's going to take De Gea on, and he's slotted it across. Great ball from him. And in the end, it's a good save by De Gea. But Ramirez, Mike, a little bit just calm, a little bit of guile, just should have side-footed it in for one each.
Corner kick to Chelsea, 1-0 to Manchester United. And De Gea is flapping at that one. He hasn't got it. And then he manages to recover on the ground before Ramirez can step in. Well, right at the end of the Champions League game in midweek, Torres very unselfishly laid on a second Chelsea goal. But on that occasion, he decided once more to try and pick out a player, Ramirez, who's in a better position. Ramirez should have finished. De Gea makes the save to keep it at 1-0 to Manchester United. Fletcher now, high ball forward, looking for Hernandez. John Terry's there and does well against Hernandez. And we will get more news from the Fulham-Manchester City game, Simon Mann.
Well, it's still Fulham 1, Manchester City 2, but that Zamora goal has really lifted Fulham. Great challenge from Richards, stopped Dempsey inside the penalty area. Dembele's shot, fine save by Hart to his right, and then a Dempsey header pushed over by Hart. So Manchester City just holding on a bit here. Fulham 1, Manchester City 2.
Thank you, Simon. As Chelsea try and go forward here in search of an equaliser, they have to be careful. And Ivanovic there, well, do you think he blocked off Hernandez? The referee was happy with the challenge as Lampard now wastes the ball to the far side, Mark.
Well, I think the crowd thought he did, but there was no reaction, great reaction from Hernandez or any other Manchester United player around him. I think you've just seen the best of the worst of De Gea as well in that 10 seconds, haven't you?
Yeah, the flap didn't get it. Ramirez couldn't finish it off. Chelsea, by the way, going back to Europe this week, were the only one of the English sides involved in Europe, the Champions League and the Europa League, to win. And they've had 24 hours more to prepare for this match than Manchester United, who got back in the early hours of Thursday. But Manchester United lead 1-0, but now Evra has pushed over Sturridge, the former Manchester City man, and it's a free kick to Chelsea near side. Reminding you, Spurs beat Liverpool 4-0, but of course Spurs pretty much put the youth team and reserves out in their Europa League game. Birmingham are trailing 3-1 at Southampton in the Championship. Stoke are 4-0 down at Sunderland. And as we've heard, Manchester City leading Fulham by 2-1. Earlier, Rangers 4, Celtic 2. Free kick to Chelsea was taken short. Lampard, watched by his dad again in the director's box here, as Chelsea now look to John Terry. A lot of Chelsea players inside the Manchester United half, playing from left to right, trailing by 1-0. It's Bosingwa. Again, it's a little bit slow, though, from Chelsea. Ashley Young is trying to help out his defenders. Bosingwa is just held up by Young, and Young's going to win this ball against Bosingwa. Has to be careful now with the clearance, and it's an overhead kick, which could have gone anywhere, but the whistle's gone from Phil Dowd. Must have been a foul, I think, on Ashley Young.
It was by Bosingwa, by virtue of the referee's assistant right in front of him. You'd have to say, I would be right in thinking now that Chelsea have had more opportunities than United, haven't they?
Well, yes.
They have, haven't they?
Torres early on, scuffed one wide.
One that De Gea saved with his feet.
He did, but Ramirez shouldn't have given him the opportunity, really, should he, to have
no, and then the one he saved with the body, yes.
29 minutes gone in the first half at Old Trafford. It's Manchester United 1, Chelsea 0. And of course, if the scorelines stay like this, United and City both leading, Chelsea could find themselves 5 points behind after 5 games. John Terry now for Chelsea, getting a bit more of the ball though now. Terry finding Cole over on the Chelsea left, the far side of the field. Now Cole and Mata, who linked up very well together in Europe in midweek against Leverkusen. Torres is on the halfway line. And now Torres just inside the Manchester United half. Ashley Cole has been fouled. Yeah, Phil Dowd, the referee, gives the free kick to Chelsea. And a little bit sloppy from Manchester United in the last few minutes. Free kick to Chelsea. 1-0 they trail, and they take the kick short again, and it's with Ivanovic. Villas-Boas still standing down there in the technical area, and now his side moving forward. Opportunity for Ramirez wide on this near side. Just holds things up at maybe a little too long. Bosingwa now for Chelsea. Ball played into Sturridge, who's not offside. Appeal for offside by Manchester United. Sturridge on the edge of the area. In comes a cross. Overhead kick from Torres. Looks spectacular, but doesn't go anywhere near the target. Trying to beat his fellow countryman De Gea in goal. Goal kick to United.
Well, in all honesty, with Torres, that was the only way you could ever get a shot off from that particular area. The ball was going to the side of you. And so Alex Ferguson's out now, and he's obviously, I don't think he's happy with Anderson, I have a feeling.
Well, I just said 30 seconds or so ago that United had been a little careless, a little sloppy, and out comes Sir Alex straight away to try and prompt them from the touchline. Always an indication that things are not going all that he would want from his side, but they are leading by 1-0. Torres now gives chase once more, gets there ahead of Johnny Evans over on the Chelsea left-hand side. Mata made a good run. Torres tried to find him. It was well defended though by Jones, and now Manchester United looking to pick a pass and move out of defence. Smalling, there's not much on from him over on the far side, and he has to give it back to De Gea in the sunshine away to our right.
Like since the goal, I think Chelsea have been the better team.
Well, it's forced the issue, though, hasn't it?
It's forced the issue. They're making many more chances. I think United have had one which they scored from. And Chelsea have had lots, shots on target, the whole kind of thing. So, from that point of view, Chelsea are better at the moment.
Throw, and it wasn't a particularly well-delivered throw from Smalling. It bounced a couple of times inside the Manchester United area before Evans cleared it. And now it's Mata looking bright and playing in the centre at the moment. On comes Bosingwa moving on to the ball. Sturridge wants this down this near side. Bosingwa ignores him. It goes infield instead. It's very tight for Chelsea. Looking for width over on the left-hand side. Ashley Cole darts forward now for Chelsea. Cole skims the ball in. It glances off Torres. Sturridge there! And it's straight at De Gea. Doesn't save it cleanly, but hangs on to it second time round. And Sir Alex Ferguson still not happy down there.
No, well played Sturridge. Good first touch. Half volley left foot as well. Yeah, Chelsea much better than Manchester. Just can't get going, Manchester United, at all. Great. Chelsea have got them penned in here.
It's a great picture down there at the moment. The two men in their suits down there. Half the age, of course, is Andre Villas-Boas, Sir Alex Ferguson. The young and the old. There's an injury now to a Chelsea player. Ivanovic, as United had the ball, so that's going to stop things here. Cross goes Phil Dowd just to see what's happening. And it also now gives the two guys down there, the managers, an opportunity. Anderson was the player called over by Sir Alex Ferguson, and Andre Villas-Boas also wants to speak to Chelsea men as well. They both speak his language, of course, native, the Portuguese. Meireles and, of course, Ramirez, Brazilian, speaks Portuguese. He's communicating to them, and then the game will restart. But what's your overall feeling so far, Mark, with about 30 minutes left in the first half?
Manchester United in the lead. A very well worked goal it was as well. Great attacking of the ball by Smalling, from great ball from from Young from the left. But in all honesty, Chelsea have just been better. They are edging this game, there's no doubt about it whatsoever. And Manchester United have started to look very edgy. They can't get the passes together.
Chelsea giving the ball back to United. Now let's go to Craven Cottage. Simon Mann.
An equaliser for Fulham with 15 minutes to go. It was coming as well. They were piling on the pressure on the City goal. Slightly fortuitous. The ball was laid back by Zamora to Murphy on the edge of the penalty area. His low shot was deflected past Hart. He had no chance at all. Fulham 2, Manchester City 2.
Winds up the stakes even more, of course, because if it stays like that, Manchester United may, as Rooney tries a shot well wide, Manchester United's may be the only 100% record intact. And as John was saying, this incredible record at Old Trafford, 17 successive Premier League home wins coming into this game. And if Chelsea are going to win this, by the way, they're going to have to do something that only Blackpool have done since West Bromwich Albion scored 2 here last October. Only Blackpool have managed to score more than 1 goal here, and they lost that game 4-2. So it's Manchester United 1, Chelsea 0. And it's Ashley Young, who hasn't had too much of the ball just lately, near side. I don't think the Chelsea manager's going to sit down at all in the first half. He's constantly in that technical area.
At 33, you don't need to, though, do you?
And now Jones. That's a good ball from Jones to Nani. Smalling's made a gallop down the right-hand side. Nani's just held up by Lampard. Nani still holds it. Boxed in by 3 Chelsea players. Has to part with it. Finds Fletcher. Now Anderson, not at his best yet in this game. Anderson to Hernandez. Now Evra supports this latest Manchester United builder. Rooney in this position he loves in the deep. Little chip ball to the far side, and Smalling has to give up on that. And that's a Chelsea throw-in by the corner flag over on the far side. Of course, it's the 5th meeting between these two teams this year, this calendar year. The Premier League games in March and May, the 2 quarter-finals in April in the Champions League. Poor clearance from Chelsea. They're not punished, though. Sturridge gets in ahead of Evra, and now Torres takes over. Got the call from Morelos. Chelsea need the width. Mata plays it down the centre, and it's a very acrobatic clearance by Patrice Evra before Torres could threaten. United now themselves in central midfield. Fletcher, Anderson take care of business. Nani now to Anderson. Nani's gone for the return. Anderson gives it to Nani, but the move just loses a little bit of bite and momentum. United building. Anderson. Fletcher points to the left-hand side. Ashley Young is waiting. It's gone to Rooney. Rooney back to Fletcher. Now it will come to this near side. 1-0 to Manchester United against Chelsea. Young onto Evra, edge of the Chelsea penalty area. Back again to Young. Rooney and Hernandez wait, but the ball doesn't reach them. It's blocked by Chelsea, who now clear, and it's a big lump ball downfield by Ramirez. And no one in blue will get that, and out comes De Gea once more, edge of the area.
But there is definitely, and you sense it and can see the urgency from Chelsea when there's some 40 yards away from Manchester United's goal to move the ball much quicker than they would have done. The Chelsea of old, certainly.
Young and Rooney down the left-hand side. This is 5 Live, 1-0 to Manchester United. Smalling's goal. Header in the 8th minute of the game from a free kick from Young. Now a great ball from Evans, right to the feet of Nani. Again, Smalling moves ahead of him. Nani's gone past Mata very easily. Still Nani. Nani shot! Oh, fantastic ball from Nani! An absolute rocket! Cech sees it as it hits the back of his net. He was nowhere near it. And that's a thrilling goal from Nani. This is going to take some comeback now from Chelsea. Manchester United 2, Chelsea 0. 9 minutes to go in the first half.
It was a proverbial goal out of nothing, and for all our friends listening on the radio, if you remember Aguero's goal for Manchester City against Swansea, first game of the season, virtually the same position on the pitch and the same kind of strike, Mike, hardly any backlift, and the ball just flew through the air and moved. The next thing is in the top corner before Petr Cech could even have moved. Brilliant finish.
Well, we were lucky to see the pictures from White Hart Lane earlier, and I reckon that Modric's goal was going to be the goal of this particular day, but I think we've seen a better one now, Mark.
I think we have.
Manchester United 2, Chelsea 0. Nani, who is capable, of course, of stuff like that, has hit a screamer past Petr Cech, one of the best goalkeepers in the business, but he was nowhere near it. Flew into the top corner. And what a strange first half it's been, because I'd like to see the possession figures in the game, because Chelsea have had a lot of the ball and have had probably better openings than Manchester United. But following Smalling's goal, the second goal from Nani, and that is now 20 goals this season in the Premier League. This is only the 5th match 20 goals for Manchester United already. Rooney scored more goals on his own than Chelsea. Rooney's got 8, of course, hasn't scored today, and Manchester United are in the driving seat. Rooney now trying to wriggle one through to Hernandez. Back to check.
The other thing as well, top teams, Manchester City, 2-0 up at Craven Cottage, looks like they're being pegged back to 2-2. Sounded like they're playing really well. United not playing well at all here, and now all of a sudden 2-0 up.
Mata on the break though for Chelsea over on the left, but he's all on his own at the moment. Chelsea players try to move forward. Ball into the area from Mata. He did well to get that one in, but Evra with a diving header away. Nani, the man of the moment, and Smalling, the 2 goal scorers, linking down the right-hand side. And Manchester United now with Rooney. Rooney's got Young moving onto this ball down the left. All Andre Villas-Boas can do is watch on as Young goes into the penalty area. On the cross in the end, it was a bit selfish from Young. And he had better options than that. He hits it straight at Cech. And we've got a full time at Wigan. Here's Stuart Pipe.
Well, a big win for St Helens, 26 points to 18. It means they go to a qualifying semi-final in these playoffs. They're 80 minutes from the grand final at Old Trafford. 2 tries for Paul Wellens, the standout for them. Wigan, the current Super League champions, will have another chance next weekend. Terrific game, Wigan 18, St Helens 26.
Thank you. Here it's 2-0 to Manchester United, and Manchester City are being held 2-2 now by Fulham at Craven Cottage, so Manchester United could be going clear tonight. They could be going 2 points clear after 5 games. Mata for Chelsea, on to Lampard. Lampard for Ashley Cole over on the left. Scoreline doesn't tell the whole story though. If you're just joining us with 40 minutes gone, Chelsea have had good moments in the game and really had opportunities as well. Torres scuffed one, Ramirez should have scored, De Gea made a save, Ramirez now finding Cole. Ashley Cole of Chelsea has a shot and it's well wide. And we've got a goal at Southampton. Andy Gillis.
We have, and Southampton have their 4th. Chaplow, the substitute's got it. Brilliant interplay. Chaplow finished it off. Southampton 4, Birmingham 1.
Going to the top of the Championship. This, of course, is Manchester United's 3rd home game of the season in the Premier League. And they've all been against London teams, Spurs, Arsenal and Chelsea. And at the moment, I think the aggregate score is 13-2 in Manchester United's favour. 3-0 against Spurs, 8-2 against Arsenal, 2-0 here today so far.
It's been a struggle though, hasn't it?
Well, Ashley Cole of Chelsea over on the left-hand side. Mark Lawrenson and many people thinking that this game was going to tell us more perhaps about Chelsea than United and their new manager Chelsea. Oh, and United there just ball watching. Shouldn't really have allowed that drop to Ramirez just inside the penalty area. They all kind of left it to each other. Ramirez, those hit it into the crowd.
Yeah, I guess represents another half chance for Chelsea. Your line there about the score doesn't reflect the way the game's been is certainly most true. Fulham, Mike.
Thank you, Mark. Here's Simon Mann at Fulham.
We've got 8 minutes to go here. It's still Fulham 2, Manchester City 2, and City responded to that Fulham equaliser by taking off Aguero, who's got 2 today, and Nasri, and bringing on Tevez and Johnson, but they're not making much headway against the Fulham defence. Fulham 2, Manchester City 2.
Thank you. That's a 3 o'clock kick-off. This was a 4 o'clock start, and we're moving towards half-time here. Manchester United very much in control of the game, leading by 2-0. 2-1 has been a scoreline that's featured regularly, of course, in recent meetings between these two sides. But the way United are going, you wouldn't bet against them getting a third. As in goes Hernandez, who, by his standards, has been relatively quiet in the first half. Chelsea looking to clear with the right back, Basingwa. Chelsea will need changes in the second half here if they're to come back into the game. Forward goes into a tunnel. Ramirez never going to cut through. Fletcher's got the ball now for Manchester United and has given the ball away. Lampard for Chelsea. Torres trying to get around the defender. In went Lampard again, but the ball doesn't run for Chelsea. Manchester United tidy up, and Evra picks out Smalling over on the far side, the Manchester United right hand. I think he got a call there from Jones. It's gone back to his goalkeeper, and that's a good clearance this from De Gea. Terry will surely win this, and it's a back header back to Cech in the Chelsea goal, who doesn't hang on to it, because Chelsea are chasing the game. They need to try and get something back before half-time. Moreles inside the centre circle, preferred to Mikel. Long ball forward, too long though for Sturridge. Out comes De Gea once more in United's goal.
Well, on the scoreline on paper, Mike, looks extremely comfortable for Manchester United, but it certainly hasn't been. They've got themselves in a great position here, but at 1-0, that Ramirez chance, how the game's going to change maybe on that moment.
Anderson, very much the senior player at the moment in Ferguson's central midfield for Manchester United, holding off Carrick in particular. Cleverley, of course, is injured, but will be back. Anderson now, and that's not... I don't quite know what he was trying. I think he thought Ashley Young was going to make a move down the left-hand side.
Ashley Young just started coming off. He started coming off the pitch from wide left, coming in to make a run forward, and Anderson, thinking he was with his feet on the line, clipped it way out left.
Of course, Sir Alex Ferguson's approaching 25 years here. When they play Benfica in the Champions League, that will be exactly 25 years to the day of his first game at Old Trafford, which was against QPR. And here comes Nani now for Manchester United, who already scored one fantastic goal. Nani's got 3 Chelsea players around him, and Chelsea now look to clear. It was Sturridge now in front of us. Sturridge into Ramirez. Doesn't quite run though for the Brazilian, and he's fouled Jones anyway. Fletcher anyway. It's a free kick. And I read a great line a great stat in, I think it was the People this morning, to say that Villas-Boas was going to be Chelsea's 14th manager against Sir Alex Ferguson over the 25 years, which really kind of tells the tale of the two clubs over the last quarter of a century. There's been a lot of upheaval at Chelsea.
Yeah, he's a 6th under Abramovich, is he not? Or is it 7th?
Yeah, probably so. And I think John Hollins was the first to tangle with Fergie all those years ago. So now it's Rooney. That's a lovely exchange, and Jones is steaming forward for Manchester United. Where did he come from? Nani picks up the possession, looks for Jones. Jones goes down in the penalty area. It'll break for Rooney, and it's 3-0 just before half-time. And Rooney continues his run. He's scored in all of the Premier League games so far. That's his 9th already. He only got 11 the whole of last season. And it's Manchester United 3, Chelsea 0, and it's surely game over.
Yeah, well done, Smalling. Great break from the back, gets himself in the penalty area. There was a little bit of sort of rebound football all over the place. The ball breaks to Rooney. There's no Chelsea defender within 5 yards of him. Easiest task, easiest goal of the season for him so far. Just a simple right foot side foot past Peter Cech. 3-0, amazing game.
Just getting a message that Ashley Cole possibly has got an injury, so we'll watch that. But Mark, the way things are at the moment here at Old Trafford, Chelsea better be careful here. Arsenal had 8 put past them. They're 3-0 down, and it's not even half-time.
It's not an 8-2 game for certain this time, because that particular game, some of the Arsenal players weren't actually trying. But can you consider the chances that certainly they've had, Chelsea, in this game, to find the 3-0 down? It's amazing, basically.
Chris Smalling's going to be very hard to remove from that right back position in the Manchester United side. There's a great movement about Manchester United as they win the ball back once more in midfield. In goes Frank Lampard against Fletcher. We're playing 2 minutes of added time at the end of a first half in which Manchester United have scored the goals. Chelsea probably had more of the ball, but they haven't used it as well as United. Rooney has scored yet again. Remember his goal against Chelsea in the Champions League at Stamford Bridge. Phil Dowd has blown. I thought he was blowing for half-time. He hasn't yet. It's given United a free kick. And it's Evra. Rooney, who began the year with a goal at West Brom, began the season with a goal at West Brom, and he hasn't really looked back in 2011 since that goal at the Hawthorns. Goal number 9 for him. That's 2 more than Chelsea scored all season in the Premier League. 3-0 to Manchester United. Anderson to Rooney. Lovely first touch from Rooney. Rooney's ball forward. Cole heads it away. Moreles and Chelsea now looking for the half-time whistle. Ramirez to Torres, who waited for that to come through to him. Jones stole the ball off him, and Manchester United now. Fletcher's had a very good game alongside Anderson in central midfield. Ashley Young's got the ball. Phil Dowd though close for half-time, and I'm not sure for at least half of that first half whether we could have seen this scoreline coming, but it's 3-0 to Manchester United. Smalling's header from the Young free kick, and the second Manchester United goal, the best of the 3, screamer from Nani, and then just before half-time, Rooney stroking them into that 3-0 lead, which surely is already too much for Chelsea. Half-time score here. There's the noise from the United fans. Manchester United 3, Chelsea 0.
Right, Mark Lawrenson, explain that first half to me. I'm just looking at the stats. Man United have had 3 shots on target, and they're 3-0 up, and they've had 1 shot off target. In total, Chelsea have had 5 shots on target and 7 off.
Well, one team with total and utter belief in themselves, Manchester United, and the other team who are still a little bit nervy in front of goal and have wasted excellent and outstanding chances, which is Chelsea. But I think the thing about Manchester United, that was a point I was trying to make to Mike before, saying it looks like City might go and draw 2 each at Fulham after being 2-0 up, probably playing well and being a dominant team. And Manchester United, the less of the dominant teams in the first half here, and they're 3-0 up. That's the difference with top teams here, and that just all of a sudden get somebody who, like Nani, will score a goal out of nothing when his team aren't playing particularly well, and it's completely different. But you have to say, Torres, great chance. Ramirez, even better chance. Chelsea should really be in this game at the very least 2-1, 3-2 at the very, very least.
You've noticed a different style of Chelsea today.
I think there is, most certainly. I think what they're doing is they've got sort of Torres up front on his own, but they've got Mata on the left and Sturridge on the right. They try and join him as quickly as possible, but they're definitely getting the ball forward quicker, Chelsea, but down the sides, not just lumping it up to Torres, it's coming down the sides. And they've obviously been told, especially Bisinga down the right-hand side, the right-back, break, Cole down the left. Yes, and they look much better for it, but they're 3-0 down at Old Trafford.
Right in front of me, about 5 yards in front of me. He's gone for a cup of tea now, I should think. Probably something stronger after watching that is the Leeds manager, Simon Grayson. They've got to play Man United in the Carling Cup on Tuesday. Mind you, it'll probably be a changed United team than the last time they played each other. Leeds did win here in the FA Cup, but let's not say any more about that. Fulham against Manchester City, though, could be a significant scoreline today. Here's Simon Mann.
Well, the first minute of 3 of stoppage time is being played. It's still Fulham 2, Manchester City 2. An excellent comeback from Fulham. City's dominated the game for 50-odd minutes. 2 from Aguero, 1 in the first half, 1 at the start of the second. Then Zamora was left in space inside the penalty area. He pulled one back in the 55th minute. Fulham piled forward, they created chances, and they equalised 15 minutes in the end with Murphy's shot that was deflected past Hart. City have brought on Tevez and Johnson. Haven't really looked like scoring since that Fulham equaliser. Fulham 2, Manchester City 2.
Looks like Manchester United are going clear tonight unless City can score a last-minute goal. Sunderland have got their season going. Peter Slater.
Looks like it. 3 minutes of stoppage time remaining. 4-0 up. Bramble, a Woodgate own goal, and Gardner in the first half. Sebastian Larsson in the second. 3 minutes of stoppage left. 4-0 Sunderland lead Stoke.
We're going to hear from Harry Redknapp. We'll also hear from Neil Lennon, the Celtic manager, after his side were beaten 4-2 by Rangers today, and Harry Redknapp's side beat Liverpool 4-0, although the Liverpool side did have 2 players sent off. Match of the day 2 tonight will be exceptional. We have had so many goals. We'll get the latest score and the final whistle at Sunderland and Fulham when we come back. We're just going to break away and have the 5 Live News with Gene McCallum.
Online at bbc.co.uk/5live.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
A man's been arrested on suspicion of murder after a suspected burglar died after being stabbed at his house in Stockport in Greater Manchester. Police say 2 intruders forced their way into the property last night. Officers have arrested a 33-year-old man suspected of aggravated burglary. More than 2,000 extra staff are being brought in to tackle tax evasion in the UK. The move was confirmed at the Lib Dems annual conference in Birmingham. Jaguar Land Rover is expected to confirm tomorrow that it will build a new multi-million-pound engine factory in Wolverhampton. The move could create hundreds of jobs and keep other businesses afloat. The Swiss bank UBS has revised upwards the amount of money it lost through unauthorised deals allegedly carried out by one of its traders. It's put the loss at £1.5 billion, 200 million more than first thought. And plans have been announced in Egypt for the first parliamentary election since President Mubarak was forced from power in February. The ballot will start in November. On the roads in Berkshire, 2 lanes of the M4 westbound are closed after an accident between the Bracknell turning, that's junction 10, and junction 11 for Reading. 1 lane is closed and there's slow traffic on the M6 southbound in the West Midlands. It's all because of a lorry having a tyre changed at junction 8, that's the turning for the M5. And on the A3 northbound in Milford in Surrey, there's very slow traffic due to an earlier accident between Elmstead Road and Compton. The good news now, though, is that all the lanes have now reopened, so things should start moving again. Gene McCallum, 5 Live Travel.
Hello, this is Hugh Edwards, and if you still want to see me on the TV after the digital switchover, you need to get ready. Otherwise, you'll lose your channels. But if you're eligible disabled or 75 and over, there's help at hand. The Switchover Help Scheme can arrange for an approved installer to supply and install everything you need to switch one TV to digital.
Don't lose your TV favourites. Look out for your letter when switchover reaches your area. or visit helpscheme.co.uk.
We knew we'd find out a lot about Man United and Chelsea today. I wonder what we have found out. Half-time, Manchester United 3, Chelsea 0. Smalling from possibly an offside position from a free kick with a header early on. Nani with a spectacular strike, and then Rooney with a tap-in just before half-time. And Chelsea have had far more chances, and they've missed 2 fairly comfortable ones. But the fact is, it looks like United are edging ahead of City tonight, unless they could score in the last minute. Here's Simon Mann at Craven Cottage.
No, they couldn't. Fulham 2, Manchester City 2. The Fulham supporters are celebrating as if this is their first home win of the season. They come back from 2 goals down. They looked out of it when Sergio Aguero made it 2-0 at the start of the second half. Fulham were barely threatened. Perhaps City relaxed, that thought that Fulham did not have a comeback in them. But then Zamora got one back 10 minutes into the second half. A shot from inside the penalty area when he was left alone. And then Murphy with a deflected shot from just outside the penalty area after Fulham had created a couple of good chances and Hart had made some good saves. We saw Tevez on and we saw Johnson on. Tevez had nearly created something inside the penalty area, but his shot was blocked. A 2-1 down. Zabaleta came on for Manchester City for Silva to try to shore things up. It didn't work. Manchester City have dropped their first points of the season. It's finished Fulham 2, Manchester City 2.
Well, that's the situation there. So it means that Manchester United, if it stays like this, of course, will edge ahead by 2 points of Man City. Matt Jackson has been alongside Simon watching that game. Is it a game City should have won, Matt, in your opinion?
Well, they should have won it anyway, Ian, and they certainly should have won it having been 2-0 up in the first minute of the second half. Took the foot off the gas, and Fulham showed a bit of belief. Martin Jol made a very, very positive substitution when it was 1-0. Felt that the momentum of the game might have switched a bit and got his rewards, and it could be a really big point for Fulham because it should kickstart their season.
Yeah, well, I want to ask you about Fulham rather than concentrate on Man City. I mean, they are a Jekyll and Hyde side, aren't they? You're never quite sure what you're going to get. What inspired them, do you think, today?
Well, it was a goal pretty much from nothing. It was a bit of slack play from Manchester City, switched off, and a very good finish from Bobby Zamora, and suddenly you felt them come alive a little bit. They suddenly had the belief that they could score a goal. It brought the crowd to life here. As I say, Martin Jol made that attacking substitution, and actually City became a very average side. They looked after that like they couldn't really create things. Brought Tevez on late on, brought Adam Johnson on, never created another chance, and it just shows how tough it's going to be for them to match their Manchester neighbours.
Yeah, no one can catch Man United. Thank you very much indeed to Matt Jackson and Simon Mann. Let's concentrate on Tottenham now. They beat Liverpool by 4 goals to 0. Modric scored for them. Charlie Adam was sent off. Defoe then scored. Skirtle was sent off. And Adebayor got 2 more. 4-0 it finished. And Harry Redknapp said afterwards he wished that it had stayed 11 aside.
I thought the worst thing that happened, I was disappointed when Charlie Adams got sent off because we were so much in control of the game at that time with 11 men against 11. I was just concerned that we might change the way we played, change the attitude of everybody, change the attitude of the crowd, we didn't need that.
Doesn't always work in the way that you think it would.
No, they'll sit people behind the ball. They're going to be dangerous on the attack with Suarez. And, you know, it wasn't how I really wanted it. I was quite happy with 11 against 11 at that stage.
You've already alluded to it, but I suppose for people who weren't at the match, it might be easy for them to say, oh, well, you know, Liverpool had 9 players. It took away from it as a competitive spectacle. But Tottenham, you've got to be very happy with the way your team were playing when it was 11 against 11.
We were far the better team. There's no, I mean, you know, anyone who's watched that first 30 minutes or so, we should have been at least 2 or 3 goals in front. So there was no danger at that stage. We were miles better on the day.
Luka Modric set the tone, didn't he, with that screamer of a goal in the 6th or 7th minute. I mean, a little reminder as to why the club was so keen to keep hold of him, and the sort of shot that I don't think anybody was going to keep out.
No, top corner, great strike. But I thought we were giving them problems at that time. You know, everywhere we had Gareth Bale, we were Nico on the other side. You know, Scotty Parker and Luka were running the game from midfield. And Adebayor and Defoe, really, they couldn't contain them. You know, they were really causing problems for Liverpool.
I have to say, I never thought I'd hear Adebayor cheered to the rafters in this stadium of all places.
Listen, I've said before, you know, football's a funny old game, and I've always said that Saddam Hussein could have bought a football club, and if he'd have pumped millions in, they'd have all sung "There's only one Saddam." So I mean, that is how the game is, and we kid ourselves. He's done nothing wrong. He played for Arsenal, he played for Man City. The Arsenal fans hate him now, so more reason for the Tottenham fans to love him. And he's come here and he's shown what he can do. He's worked hard today again. He's put a real shift in. And they'll love him here. If he continues like that, like he did last week, he's got no problem. He'll be fantastic for this club.
That's Harry Redknapp speaking with Simon Brotherton after Tottenham beat 9-man Liverpool by 4-0 and Adebayor got 2 goals. Sunderland really did start things off today, and they began quickly and they finished off Stoke very, very easily. Peter Slater.
Yes, they've beaten them 4-0. They play a tune at the end of the game here, Ian, when Sunderland win. Haven't heard it for months and months, but they played it today. They're off and running. Stoke's fine start brought to a shuddering halt. Also unexpected, I think, after what's happened so far this season. Titus Bramble gave Sunderland a 5th-minute lead. Low shot from Larsson's corner. 6 minutes later, Larsson's cross. Bentner pressurised Jonathan Woodgate. He headed the ball past his own goalkeeper. That gave them some breathing space. Craig Gardner's shot deflected off Ryan Shawcross, made it 3-0 before the half hour. And then Larsson himself, involved in so much in the first half, added a 4th with a free kick 8 minutes into the second. Stoke could blame fatigue, I suppose, after their Thursday night game in Kiev. Sunderland won't care what the excuse is. They've gone from bottom 3 to mid-table in one fell swoop, and they've beaten Stoke by 4-0.
Wonder if they'll be playing another team beginning with S next season. Southampton looking for back-to-back promotions in the Championship. They thrashed Birmingham today 4-1. Andy Gillies.
Yes, Lambert's penalty set them on the way after 10 minutes. The volleys from Gooley and Lallana for the second and third goals, both special. Some scintillating football from Saints in the first half. Birmingham came back into it. Wood's free kick brought one back in the 48th minute. Carr hit the post. Davis produced an outstanding save to thwart Marlon King, but the revival well and truly halted with another flowing move that ended with substitute Chaplow sorting home Saints 4th. Saints on top of the league. Nigel Adkins, 100th league win as a manager.
And yet another side that scored 4 today. Rangers, who put 4 past Celtic. Final score, Rangers 4, Celtic 2. Neil Lennon is the Celtic manager, and he say his team didn't deserve a thing today.
I'm very disappointed. We had our tails up, but we never really got going second half. We sat too deep and we didn't compete, and if you don't compete for second balls and earn the right to play, then you expect to get beaten.
Was it really another factor, though? You're down to 10 men and the way Rangers are playing, that's going to be a factor in the game?
Oh, of course, yeah, but you have to, we're a goal down, so you have to try and get yourself in the game, and it leaves you a little bit open at the back, which is it's not fine, obviously, but you have to try and get something out of the game. So we brought Bangura, Stokes, to try and change things a little bit.
I felt when you looked at your midfield, it looked just terrific to me, and it didn't really get going. And I thought that was maybe the key area. The Rangers lost that.
Yeah, I thought we, particularly central, we went a little bit second half, and I don't know why. I can't put my finger on that. I don't know if it's fatigue from Thursday night or not, but you have to compete better than that, and we didn't do that.
What else happened today? Well, in the Aviva Premiership, the Saracens came from behind to beat Worcester by 18 points to 6. In the Davis Cup, well, they were dead rubbers, but Great Britain beat Hungary by 5 rubbers to love in the end. Wigan Warriors beaten by St Helens 26-18 in the Engaged Super League playoff. It means that St Helens go through to the semi-finals and Wigan go through to effectively the quarter-final. Leeds Rhinos against Hull. That game's kicking off in about 15 minutes time. The loser goes out. Earlier today, if you missed it, in the Rugby World Cup at Otago Stadium, England beat Georgia 41-10, Wales beat Samoa 17-10, and France beat Canada 46-19. If you want to have your say on today's football, Robbie Savage is in the chair. You can start phoning very soon, 0500 909 693. You may want to talk about Manchester United, who just seem so dominant at the moment, even though Chelsea have had most of the play here today. Or you may want to respond to Lou Macari's comments earlier today, the former Man United player. He thinks that Fernando Torres is not and never has been a great player. A few texts from people on that already. This from John in London, said, never heard anything so silly in my life. As a United fan, I have to admit Torres was the best striker in the world for a season. Chris in Brighton said, you just proved Lou Macari's argument on Torres. True great players, for example, like Shearer, Giggs and currently Messi, do it game in, game out for more than 18 months. 0500 909 693, and the lines are open now. Right, what can Chelsea do? And any changes? Mark Lawrenson, Mike Ingman. First, John Murray.
Well, interesting move from Villas-Boas. We saw Anelka trotting out. Anelka to come onto the field at half-time. My initial feeling was, well, is Torres there? Yes, he was. Well, was Sturridge there? Yes, he is. Was Mata there? Yes, he is. It's Lampard who has been substituted, and Anelka is on. So I'm assuming, Mark Lawrenson, yeah, it does look that way, that Mata is going to play behind Torres with Anelka on the left and Sturridge on the right.
Yeah, I think that's exactly the way they're going to play, John.
Now, if he was offensive in the first half, then that is almightily positive when you're 3-0 down at Old Trafford.
He's thinking, we're not going to get 3 points, so it doesn't really matter, does it?
Anelka's played it through for Torres from an angle, and Torres stabs it past De Gea and into the net. Torres has got his first goal of the season. With 30 seconds on the clock in the second half. That's more like it, Fernando. Manchester United 3, Chelsea 1.
Well, he did it without thinking. I think that's the key, John. I mean, it's a great ball that plays him in. Absolutely brilliant pass. He makes a lovely little run as well, just across the face of the defenders as the ball comes in. I think it's from Anelka, isn't it? He's onside and he just flicks it outside of the right foot past the goalkeeper. It is Anelka. Great ball from Anelka. Brilliant finish from Torres. Brilliant
first contribution from Anelka, having just come onto the field. They hit a pass like that. That's what Torres wants, that sort of ball. It's Gerrard-like, actually, wasn't it? The pass from Anelka for him.
Dare you say Gerrard Alonso-like? Absolutely.
Yeah. So 3-1. The comeback's on.
Well, we'll see.
3-1. And only a second goal for Chelsea since the £50 million move in January.
It also looks like Mireles and Ramirez are going man-to-man against Fletcher and Anderson in central midfield.
United no changes at half-time. De Gea, Smalling, Jones, Evans and Evra, Nani, Fletcher, Anderson and Young, with Hernandez and Rooney up front. And Chelsea now check in goal. The back four of Bosingwa, Ivanovic, Terry and Cole. As Mark said, Ramirez and Mireles in the holding position, Sturridge on the right and Nelka now on the left, with Mata in behind Torres. So 3-1. And United with Rooney, who scored again today, scored in every league game this season, and the referee Phil Dowd has brought play back for a tap on the shins from Rooney on Mireles.
Did he actually catch him or did he just nick the ball? I'm not sure.
I think Rooney is saying, I didn't catch him. And he did. Just caught the top of his left foot.
He played the ball against him, Rooney, then his left foot caught the top of Mireles' left foot.
Yeah.
Well done, the referee. He's a bit closer. Can't believe he didn't spot that, John.
Have you got your glasses on?
You have to have them taken back from you.
And by the way,
you
have to take your glasses back, because if you were listening in the first half, the fact is, actually, we've seen replays at half-time, and not only was Smalling in an offside position as Young played in the free kick for the first goal, Nani was actually in an offside position in the build-up to the second goal. So 2 of Manchester United's goals could have been ruled out for offside. It's been a strange game. Chelsea missed a host of chances in the first half. Rooney is now brought down by Ramirez.
I think that's a good tackle, I really do.
Well, Ramirez is certainly backing you up with his body language in that he's suggesting that he got the ball. Well, if he did, he's going to be very unfortunate, because he's going to be yellow carded. First yellow card of the game. I think he did get the ball, and he's going to be yellow carded.
Well, the referee's assistant has got him booked.
Well,
it wasn't the referee. He just saw the assistant's flag go up.
He went in, with the sole of his foot showing, but I think the sole of his foot did get the ball. Villas-Boas comes up. There's Roberto Di Matteo down there having a word with the fourth official, Peter Walton. It was Roberto Di Matteo's team that were the only side to get anything off Manchester United in the Premier League here at Old Trafford last season when he was West Brom manager. Here now United with Evra, but his pass aiming for Hernandez in the middle, a straight at Cech, who's able to pick it up quite easily. 5 Live, Manchester United leading Chelsea by 3-1 after Manchester City were held to a 2-2 draw at Craven Cottage. So an opportunity for Manchester United to open up a lead at the top of the table. Torres now into the penalty area, challenged really well by Jones, and then he actually had a little nibble at him as well, but it's given away by Jones. Anderson couldn't keep it. Ramirez plays it over the top, and Mata stretching for it, couldn't reach it, and it's through to De Gea.
It was a length of a stud away from flicking that pass. Jones did extremely well, just dispossessed Torres and then gave the ball away.
Yeah, again careless, and throughout this game there have been a number of careless moments from Manchester United, and even though United are 3-1 up on Chelsea in this game, I'd venture to suggest that it's possibly the most subpar Manchester United performance of the season so far.
That's not saying a lot, though, is it?
No, by the standards. Here's Anelka now. Beats Smalling, crosses it. It's cleared away, and it is cleared to Fletcher on the edge of the penalty area. And now Young.
Smalling's having more an examination since Anelka's come on than he's had throughout all the season at right back, John.
Yeah. Well, he's been such a feature of Manchester United's play when he's been there at right back. Smalling venturing forward, scoring the opening goal today. Smalling with the first. Nani, a spectacular goal that swerved all over the place from round about 25 yards, maybe a little more, for the second. Rooney scored the third goal for United just before half-time. That was a bit of a scrappy affair, really, when the ball broke to him and he just passed it into the net. And now Smalling and Anelka together just inside the Chelsea half, and Smalling puts it out of play for a throw-in to Chelsea. The World Service are with us. Welcome to you from wherever you are to Old Trafford on a fair afternoon, with a touch of autumn in the air, but the sun's shining, and Manchester United leading by 3-1 as Young gives it to Evra, who's dispossessed, and Chelsea have got it back inside their own half. Mark Lawrenson's with us as well.
Well, just in the context of this game, John, how important the next goal is. Massive.
Ball's played back to Cech, who will clear with his left foot high and onto the head of Jones. Actually, Torres beats him to it in the air in the centre circle, but Smalling's able to play it back to Evans, and now Torres is chasing the ball down, and De Gea, who is so accomplished with the ball at his feet. I know it's been said, but it really is a feature of his play. He found Fletcher, and now Nani leaves Cole on his backside, and he's away from Morales as well, and Nani's now up against Tahiri, but the pass infield was straight at Cech. Hernandez, I think it might have taken a deflection off Terry's backside.
He did. He also nutmegged Ashley Cole, which is why he led on the ground for a minute, thinking, has he really done that to me?
They enjoyed that, the home supporters. And Anelka now with it on the left-hand side. He's up against Smalling, and this time he just taps it infield towards Cole. And Cole now into the space between Bosingwa, ahead of Bosingwa and behind Sturridge. Bosingwa's ball into the penalty area. Torres is after it. Jones stands up against him, and the ball runs between them and through for a goal kick.
Yeah, just give him a little sort of shoulder charge, come nudge out of the way. But definitely a spring in the step of Chelsea.
Yes, there is. With this ultra-positive team that they've got on the pitch now, after being 3-0 down at half-time. 3-1 the score now.
I think this is Mata's best position. Just behind the front man.
That is what they say, isn't it? He's played predominantly in the wider positions, but certainly on the little glimpse I had of him in the home game against Norwich, he did wonder. Throw-in taken by Mata. Morales with a run, but Anderson with a very good saving challenge. Back to De Gea, who had to clear from the ground with Morales bearing down on him. And now it's reached Hernandez on the halfway line. Hernandez scored 3 of his goals against Chelsea last season. Rooney now, there's space there for Young. Rooney finds him, but Young wanted too much time, and Bosingwa got back with a challenge.
Bosingwa did extremely well and just flicked the ball away from him.
Very open now, this game, and Sturridge is allowed to run from inside his own half. He's still going. Sturridge might open up for him, but Evans comes across with the challenge. Still Sturridge gives it to Mata, right corner of the penalty area. Mata shoots low, and De Gea goes down and has to shove it round his near post.
I'm not sure whether he might have seen that quite late, actually, certainly De Gea, and might just go down as a good save if he had seen it late.
Crowd 75,455. Corner is taken short by Chelsea, and Ramirez gives it back to Mata. Now back to Ramirez. Ball delivered into the penalty area. Jones is there commandingly. Comes back to Ramirez, trying to force a way through, and it's just dinked away from him by Evra, and Manchester United could break now. Rooney has it. Rooney passes it to the left-hand side. Nani is there. Nani flying at the Chelsea defence. He's on his right foot. Beats his man. Shoots. It's deflected against the bar. Comes out to Nani. Nani's been fouled. The ball runs away. That must be a penalty. It is. He was fouled by Bosingwa. Took him down just as he was about to put the ball into the net, you would have thought. And it's a penalty to Manchester United. Won by Nani. And the whole thing came from Nani.
And it came from an unbelievably quick break from Manchester United. And I think it was 4v4. And in the end, Nani breaks through. He's hit the ball, deflected onto the crossbar. It just looked like Bosingwa caught him as he broke into the penalty area.
Yes, he did. So guess who's picked up the ball? It's not 3 guesses time. It's Wayne Rooney. If he scores this, he'll be on a hat-trick. again. Rooney, bright sunshine behind him. Petr Cech on his line. He's not hurrying about it. In fact, Phil Dowd. And is there something wrong with the penalty spot? Phil Dowd and Rooney are both...
Chelsea probably think it's too near the goal. That's what's wrong with it.
Rooney has the ball on the spot. Manchester United leading 3-1. Well, someone's speaking.
Torres.
Someone's spoken out of turn to the referee. I think it's John Terry, actually, who has been shown the yellow card there. Torres and Terry were round the referee. I think it was Terry who it was shown to. And Torres is now complaining, and the Chelsea players are saying the ball's not on the spot. Rooney with a penalty. Oh, he slipped and headed wide extraordinarily. Can't remember seeing a penalty hit so wide. Well, I don't know whether it was his standing foot that slipped, and Rooney's now examining the penalty spot and tapping it down. Well, that was extraordinary. He's hit it probably 10 yards wide.
Johnny hit it, what he did, he hit it right foot against his left foot. That's what he did, and he deflected it completely so far wide. That's what he went to stroke it, bottom corner right foot, and his left foot came across for his balance, and he just clipped the end of his left boot.
A bit like the penalty, do you remember, that Middlesbrough scored in the League Cup final that time, but that did end up in the net, didn't it?
Which shouldn't have been allowed, technically.
Which shouldn't have been allowed.
Was that the Carling Cup final?
It was, League Cup final, yeah. So it's still 3-1 to Manchester United, and that really was a remarkable little incident there.
Yeah.
And both referee and Rooney found that there was a problem with the penalty spot. And I mean, the pitch surface here at Old Trafford these days is very, very good. And it takes us back to the Euros, doesn't it? The penalty shootout that England were involved in against Portugal, in Portugal, when Beckham had the problem with the penalty spot. Ball's been missed by Ivanovic. Rooney's onto it. Ivanovic back-heeled it away with Rooney threatening to burst through one-on-one.
But Chelsea players got back extremely quickly to snuff out the danger.
Oh, we've had some incident now in this game. 3-1 to Manchester United. Rooney, lovely dummy. Hernandez gives it back to him. Rooney tries to give it back to Hernandez, but good recovery work from Ramirez, who used his pace to reach it first and sweep it out for a throw.
He did brilliantly, Ramirez. He was second favourite at one stage and just gained half a yard on Hernandez.
So, well, it is a throw. Someone's put it on the corner quadrant.
Yeah. The thing is, Chelsea are going to have to play this way, John, because they need to get the next goal. So they're going to have to be open, and they could quite easily get picked off. They've no other option, though. Otherwise, they're out of it anyway.
Just over half an hour to play. By the way, in the midst of all that, I think there was confirmation that it was John Terry who was booked. So, throw-in taken, crossed by the outside of Evra's left boot, but headed away for Chelsea. And now Sturridge is away up the right-hand side, but bad touch, I'm afraid, from Sturridge, straight out of play for a throw into United on the halfway line.
I bet Villas-Boas is looking at this and thinking, this way of playing, apropos the sort of first halfway of playing in terms of the formation and makeup of the team, I think it makes Chelsea look far more potent.
Well, Morelos gives it to Ashley Cole, and Villas-Boas is still patrolling the edge of his coaching area. I think from the moment that Manchester United went ahead in this game, that's where he's been. Anelka now on the left-hand side, gets right underneath this, scoops it into the air, and that's an easy catch for De Gea at the back post. Probably worth pointing out with his team 3-1 down that no team of Villas-Boas has lost a league match since he was the coach of Academica Coimbra the season before last. And that's a long old stretch as a manager without a league defeat. Porto unbeaten in the league last season as they won everything. Here's
you sound surprised, though.
Well, I think it is an achievement not to lose a single league match, whoever you are.
But I think we've got to be a dose of realism.
Yeah. Here's Young on the left-hand side. Ramirez on the challenge, wins it back from Evra. And now Mata plays it over the top for Torres. Torres pokes it away from Jones, but into Jones and behind for a corner.
He's found his half a yard, Torres.
Where's that come from at half-time?
Well, the goal. But the other thing as well is he knows now when Mata's on the ball that he'll pick him out. And he's not even looking, John. He's not even thinking. He's just going. And he's going into those spaces, you can see.
Now Jones has got a test on his hands. Corner then, Mata takes it. Terry with a header, awkward one, just headed it up in the air really. Smalling then heads it away into the full-back position and absolutely hammers it into the centre circle, where that's brilliantly done by Ramirez. He chested it down, then drifted away from Rooney, and suddenly he was a threat in the United defensive third. He's given it to Anelka, and that's a dangerous looking cross from Anelka to the back post, where Sturridge is in, but the bouncing ball bounced away from him as he got first contact and behind for a goal kick.
I just don't think when it left Anelka's foot that Sturridge read it, because he's quick. I think if he'd really gone for that, would have come onto it and chested it down and could possibly have made it 3-2.
And what you say, Mark, still applies. Next goal. Very interesting.
The other thing as well, I think Ramirez is far better in this position, where, almost it's like an anti-position in terms of just breaking things up. He's not the greatest going forward, but he's very, very quick to recover and get back in front of his back players.
United going to make a double change. Carrick and Valencia are going to be brought on by United as Ashley Cole gives it back to Cech, who clears. And then Smalling is all over the back of Torres as he goes for a header on the halfway line. And Torres tells referee Dowd exactly what he thinks of that in no uncertain terms.
Don't worry, I saw it, the referee said.
Yeah.
So that collision yesterday, Norwich.
Yes, I did. That was a nasty one, wasn't it?
It was a hit butt, wasn't it?
Yes, I think it was Gordon Bennett as much as anything else. Well, it's Smalling.
Got a problem, he's injured.
Yeah, he is. He's been led away. Not going on to the dugout.
Valencia right back, John.
Yeah. Well, he has been there before, hasn't he?
Chelsea away. Champions League last year, wasn't
it? That's right. And Anderson making way for Carrick, and Anderson has had a checkered afternoon.
He had a strange 25 minutes, half an hour in the first half. He just wasn't sort of at the game, was he?
So United 3, Chelsea 1. United were 3-0 up at half-time. Smalling, Nani and Rooney the scorers. Torres scoring 30 seconds into the second half. And Rooney, aided and abetted by what is clearly a dodgy penalty spot in front of the East Stand at Old Trafford, missing a penalty to put United 4-1 up. So that's the story of this game so far, but plenty more besides.
And there was that irony as well that John Terry got booked complaining about it, and John Terry missed that penalty in the Champions League final.
That's right. Valencia, first chance for him to run, but he runs into Terry, and now Ramirez caught in possession by Hernandez, and Hernandez is all action all of a sudden, gives it quickly to Nani. Nani then plays it behind Hernandez, and Terry's able to give it away to Valencia. Carrick now in the centre circle. The lines are open for 6:06, by the way. Lots and lots and lots to talk about. Robbie Savage taking your calls tonight.
Chelsea going to make another change, I think, in a minute.
Is that Mikel who well, it's Mikel who's gone out to warm up, isn't it?
Yeah.
United with Evans, long pass forward towards the edge of the area. Cole heads it down. Sturridge caught in possession, and it's chested back by Ivanovic to goalkeeper Cech. Lines open for 6:06 on 0500 909 693 to talk to Robbie Savage tonight after the other Premier League games finished. Tottenham 4, Liverpool 0. Liverpool's next league game, incidentally, is our 3 o'clock commentary match next weekend on Saturday at home to Wolves. Finished Fulham 2, Manchester City 2 after City were 2-0 up, and Sunderland handsome winners against Stoke by 4-0. Rangers 4-2 winners against Celtic in the Old Firm game, and Southampton 4, Birmingham 1 in the N-Power Championship. But in the Barclays Premier League, it's Manchester United who are having to defend here, with Anelka running at Fletcher. Gives it to Mata, back to Anelka. Anelka flips it into the area, but straight at Jones, who's able to clear it away. Back to Chelsea again. And Terry now to Cole. Cole to the left-hand side to Sturridge, and then Nani does well actually to fool Ashley Cole. Fletcher to Nani. Cole's in there tight on him, then has a little kick at him as well, and caught him. Referee waves advantage because Nani is moving away from Cole, who recovers, then has another little nibble at him, and then Nani again sees Cole coming and plays it away from him, and now Rooney plays it to the left-hand side where there is space. Evra. Oh, the pass was behind Hernandez. And Ivanovic went in there on Evra, and Evra lost balance and crashed into Anelka, and eventually it is brought back for the free kick, which came from Ivanovic's challenge.
Quite right too.
Well, he could have brought play back for any number of challenges in there.
But I think he looked at the Ivanovic challenge and went, hold on, that's a free kick, and waited for United's advantage to dissipate.
The game was a runaway train there for a little while.
It was.
Nani and Cole was an interesting one. That could have caught fire. Rooney with a free kick.
We move Cole involved.
Good point. Rooney has Young next to him. 3-1 to Manchester United. If you've just joined us on 5 Live in the World Service, it's actually Lukaku who is going to be brought on. Only one appearance so far for the youngster from Belgium, and did well actually in the closing stages against Norwich. Quite a presence up front. But free kick for Manchester United with 25 minutes to go. Rooney with a free kick, hits it straight into the wall, comes back to him. Rooney, shot deflected down towards the byline. Young will reach the spinning ball, and he leaves it. Fooled everyone.
Yeah, but he was really clever, because he saw the ball was spinning and was taking its time to go out of play, so he had a little look up, see which Manchester United players were in the box. Chelsea, there was only 2 with about 6 Chelsea players. He thought, oh no, we'll get a corner and get the artillery in.
Yeah, quick thinking. So Chelsea have got to defend this corner. Young to take it, and it's taken short by Young to Nani. Back to Young again, swirling ball in. Jones with a header, but beyond the far post as he looked. That was a chance actually.
It was a really good chance, especially for him as well. And he's gone for. He just didn't get enough power on it. Just kind of it hit his head against his head rather than any sort of power behind it or neck muscles fused.
So still 3-1 to Manchester United. And down goes Villas-Boas into his favourite position on his haunches, and then quickly back up again. Sturridge loses out to Valencia, the stand-in right back. Morelos heads it forward, back to Sturridge. Now Cole. John Terry just passes the ball to this left-hand side to Morelos. Oh, that was poor from him. But Valencia didn't clear it. And now Torres back to Morelos. Morelos is teasing, cross into the middle. And Carrick did well, actually, running back towards his own 6-yard box to head it away for a corner.
Just dealt with it. Couldn't leave it in that position either. Just dealt with it.
I think, Chelsea are waiting to make this change, but I think they'll wait until the corner is taken. No, they won't. So we're halfway through the second half on 5 Live in the World Service. United 3-1 up. And here's Mike Ingham.
Well, I was fascinated here to see how they're going to fit Lukaku into the system, but it's going to be Sturridge who's to be removed. So the young Lukaku, Belgian player, comes on and will presumably play. Well, I know Sturridge actually has been switching flanks with Anelka. We'll just wait and see exactly where he's going to play, but just for the moment he will try and get on the end of this corner kick for Chelsea. Mata's corner kick, and the header came in from John Terry looking for the deflection, and he's got it because it'll be another corner. Yes. And if Chelsea could just get one back now, then who knows, it would become very anxious for the home crowd.
It was very well defended, Mark, actually, that corner from United's point of view.
Had Rooney put the penalty away, the game would have been all over. 4-1, but it's still 3-1, and Mata now prepares to take this second Chelsea corner at the Stretford end away to our left. 3-1 to Manchester United. Corner comes in. Jones does well there with a header out of the penalty area. Then he hobbles a little bit following that header. And, you know, had there been more centre-halves around, I suppose Jones could have gone to right back with Smalling's injury. But no Ferdinand, no Vidic. Jones stays in central defence. And now it's Torres, his first away goal for Chelsea today. Torres taking on 2 Manchester United players. Valencia and Fletcher both there, and another corner given by referee Phil Dowd. This is good pressure from Chelsea, but they need to score 2. Torres takes a short corner to Mata. In goes the corner kick towards Lukaku, looking for his first touch. Evra was there. It's going to be another corner.
Yeah, good ball in from Torres, quick thinking as well. 2 against 1 at the corner, and nice movement by Lukaku across the defender.
Terry and Ivanovic, as ever, inside the penalty area. This time Mata will go all the way with this Chelsea corner. Torres at the near post. In goes a corner kick. Hasn't been cleared yet. It's been flicked to the far side of the field, and this time it's gone off a Chelsea player.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a goal kick for Manchester United with much relief.
Ivanovic, wasn't it? I thought Anelka actually, it was like he wasn't expecting it, Mike. Lukaku's gone to play on the right. So, as you were really, Mata behind Torres, Anelka on the left.
Well, Chelsea can make one more change. Mikel is the only player at the moment warming up. Not sure how long the highlights from this game will be tonight on Match of the Day, but they certainly won't have any problems filling the allotted time, because there's been a very eventful game here. 3-1 to Manchester United as Anelka now drills the ball down the centre. Lukaku's there, and Evra managed to get in a scrambling challenge. Manchester United being forced back at the moment by Chelsea. Nani, scorer of a second goal, fantastic goal from Nani. United struggling to get out of their own half. Valencia playing at right back now, gives the ball back to Jones. Jones for Evans, and Evans now looking to bring the ball forward out of the United defence, and Carrick in the end. Mike Phelan then turned away because he was disappointed with Carrick's back pass to his goalkeeper. Manchester United just lost a bit of rhythm at the moment, but they do have a 2-goal cushion.
Yeah, I mean, Carrick had loads of time and space, turn and launch another attack. I'm not sure whether he got a shout.
Remember, Manchester City were hell today, so they've lost their 100% start. 2-2 at Fulham, so Manchester United could go 2 points clear this evening after 5 games. Chelsea with Morelos now looking more comfortable with this second half system. Mata playing in behind Torres has been very effective, and now he finds Torres once more. Torres up against Carrick. Good dribbling from Torres. Torres shot, saved by De Gea, and Torres again. He should have scored. He's lashed the ball over the bar, and that was another great opportunity for Torres and Chelsea to make it 3-2.
Yeah,
the goal kick.
It was, and initially for most of that move as well, Torres did outstandingly well. Got himself half a yard. Good save by De Gea. Ball came back to him. Never really bent his back with the volley. If he had, it would have been down, and I think it would have been in the net.
The Torres of old would have had a hat-trick in this game already. He scuffed one in the first half. I was interested to hear Mark saying when he scored his goal, it was an instinctive strike. He didn't have any time to think about it.
No, he didn't.
It's when you're in the position and you've maybe got just too much time and the confidence plays a part. Manchester United 3, Chelsea 1 on 5 Live. Ashley Young now for Manchester United. Rare moments inside the Chelsea half in the second half. Good running from Ashley Young. Young, though, in the end has to settle for the corner. And there's an appeal for handball by the United captain, Evra. But it's not given by Phil Dowd. And it's going to be a Manchester United corner. And, you know, by their very own high standards, United, they've not been at their very best today. They lead 3-1. Ashley Young, Hernandez have been relatively quiet. And Rooney's missed a penalty. Corner to United, far side. But if they score another goal, it will be all over. Corner kick to the near post, and Ramirez volleys the ball away. Evra will collect it, though. Evra for Manchester United. Back again to Young over on that left-hand side of the field. Manchester United playing from left to right. Nani, shooting opportunity for Nani. Nani, though, in the end, Jones has given offside. And it's a free kick to Chelsea with around about 18 minutes left in this
Great
game.
play by Nani. Bear in mind, he's clattered one in from virtually the same range, and he's just gone as though to smash it. Everybody's gone to block it, and he played a lovely little ball into Jones, who was stood offside.
I think Mikel is preparing to come on for third Chelsea's final change. He's essentially a defensive player, Mikel, so just wait and see what's on the manager's mind here as he talks to Di Matteo.
I think this is the future for Chelsea, Mike, for a while, which is Mata in behind probably Torres, in all honesty, looking at his second half performance.
Which raises questions about Lampard as Chelsea now build down the right-hand side. Lukaku's lost that, and Ashley Young starting now out of the United defence. Hernandez takes over but runs the ball out of play. Well, you think that Lampard was left out of England's game in Bulgaria, left out of the Champions League match in midweek, and taken off at half-time here as Chelsea chased the game. Anelka came on and made an impact straight away, laying on the goal for Torres. Valencia, header away, was weak, playing at right back. Mata is there now for Chelsea. Ashley Cole's actually in the penalty area. Anelka for Chelsea, near side the left. Valencia does well, just gets his foot in, forces Anelka back a few yards. Anelka now trying to get a ball into the penalty area, has to get rid of it to Mata. Mata now peels in from this near side. Little flick from Torres. Half-hearted appeal for a handball. Phil Dowd waves play on. United can't get out of their own half as Ivanovic comes in. Ivanovic with a shot in the end is 10 yards wide.
Yeah, trying to hit it too hard. Great opportunity. Rush of blood to the head from a centre-back shot. Great thing about Mata, if you watch him play, two-footed. You're never quite sure playing against him, you know, which is his better foot. Therefore, you can't sort of think, well, I'll send him onto his weaker foot all the time.
Problem, though, for Chelsea still, Mark, is they don't have natural width, do they? They've got Anelka, who's a central striker, really playing wide, Sturridge too, and now Lukaku.
That is a problem.
Yeah.
And you know, the Malouda-Kalou thing, isn't it? Which they've never really, for me, done it over the course of a season, the pair of those players.
Mikel's coming on. Rooney's got the ball down the left. He's looking for Young, but Rooney didn't actually give him a good pass. But Chelsea don't clear. Rooney now with a floater looking to play the ball over Ashley Cole. Nani juggles with the ball on the chest. Nani gives it back to Valencia. Lots of red shirts ahead of Valencia. A 1-2 between Nani and Valencia. Ashley Cole doesn't get his tackle in. Valencia by the corner flag. 3-1 to Manchester United. Next goal will be absolutely vital either way, you think. United trying to buzz surely a push by Mata on Nani. Free kick to Manchester United. Didn't need to do that. And we're going to have Berbatov coming on as well.
For Hernandez, I would have thought. He's been very quiet, Hernandez, hasn't he? Very, very quiet.
Interestingly, Manchester United used 19 players in the Benfica and Bolton games, and Berbatov didn't get on for a single second in either of those two matches. So he's very much on the fringe of things at the moment. He's going to stay watching, though, as United line up a free kick. Then he'll come on in a moment. Ashley Young over the ball. Remember, Smalling scored from a Young free kick in the first half. Smalling's now off the field. Jones has gone forward. Young takes it and he's drilled it back to Fletcher. Ball rears up to Fletcher. Rooney with too many blue shirts around him. Ivanovic is looking strong in the challenge. Fletcher, though, picks up the loose ball. Fletcher finds Evra down the left-hand side. Jones still in the area. Rooney's there and it hits the post. Comes out to Hernandez, who smashes the ball into the side netting. John Terry missed his clearance and Rooney was denied by a post, but Hernandez is injured.
Yeah, and Ashley Cole has caught him. As he went to smash the ball in, Hernandez went to smash the ball in, Mike, when it came back off the post. Ashley Cole's gone for the challenge legitimately, but he's caught him.
And he looks to be in trouble as well. He's making those hand signals immediately to the sideline, and this could be quite a blow for Manchester United, and Rooney in particular if Hernandez is partner. And Berbatov was about to come on, of course, we think, for Hernandez. Nani's complaining. The referee's speaking to the linesman down here about something. Fletcher and Rooney are standing over Hernandez. Now, what's happening here?
Well, he caught him. It's whether the ball was already gone and out of play almost.
Phil Dowd wants Ashley Cole to come across to him. Having spoken to the linesman, who had a better view, John Terry, the Chelsea captain, is just seeking clarification down there. Hernandez still receives attention.
Cole's going to get booked.
Ashley Cole, we think, is about to get a yellow card. He has. So the third Chelsea player booked in the game. Hernandez, though, now is sitting up. So what do you think?
I think it was a foul, but therefore it could have been a penalty, in all honesty. But whether the referee's assistant said the ball had gone out of play, I don't know. It's just a very, very strange one in many ways. But he definitely caught him, Ashley Cole.
There's a lot of conversation going on between Rooney, Ashley Cole, John Terry, England teammates. And Sir Alex Ferguson will be desperate for Hernandez to get back on his feet. I mean, he will be replaced by Berbatov here, but he's a player that United need for the season. He gets gingerly back onto his feet again away to our right. It's clouding over here a little bit now at Old Trafford. We're into the last 15 minutes of the game, but we're going to have a little bit of time to be added on now. Hernandez walks at least off the pitch, albeit slowly. Doesn't need the stretcher that's there. Berbatov will be the replacement. Mikel has come on for Mireles in the meantime. And Dimitar Berbatov inevitably replaces Hernandez. Well, he's walking reasonably freely, although just a little sheepish down there. Stocking roll down. And the game continues with Chelsea requiring 2 goals to save it. Just over 10 minutes to go. Manchester United 3, Chelsea 1. So Dimitar Berbatov gets 10 minutes alongside Rooney, and Cech clears into the Manchester United half. Jones jumping with Torres, they both miss it. Evans is there and then clatters it back high towards the centre circle. Ivanovic unopposed. Berbatov didn't make a challenge, gets his home, and Valencia just treads all over Mata and concedes the free kick, and Nani stops Ashley Cole from taking it quickly.
There's not much to tread over with Mata though, is there?
Torres, left-hand side this time, up against Antonio Valencia, holds him off. Mata and Torres wait for the return, and Valencia stopped him from moving forward and will become United's first player to get a yellow card in the game.
He just blocked him off, didn't he?
Still be interesting though if Chelsea could get one here. 3-1 to Manchester United. Mata with the free kick. Terry once more makes himself a big presence inside the penalty area away to the left. We're still just watching Hernandez to see what sort of state he's in as he walks. It's a long walk as well to the tunnel away to the left. The longest walk really from behind the goal away to our right, which doesn't help matters. Free kick then for Chelsea, and Mata, big high one. United's defenders managed to do enough in the air there. Valencia's awkward header away, and Chelsea regroup once more, and Ashley Cole in towards Lukaku, who's missed it. Berbatov was patrolling the area, and it's going to be a goal kick to Manchester United. What would you imagine Hernandez has done there? Just looking at him, Mark.
Well, I think any doubt whatsoever, Mike, they were just the medical staff would have said get on the stretcher if they thought he was going to make it any worse. And his limb, I think it's just a kick. Right. When I say just a kick,
it's a shin injury. We think maybe. I don't know, maybe a bit of a cut that will need attention in the
not a muscle injury, which is the most important thing, certainly.
Manchester United 3, Chelsea 1, and Nani now escapes down the right-hand side. John Terry backs off. Nani's early ball in the area. Berbatov tries to stretch, can't get there. Ashley Young will keep it in down the left-hand side. Finds Rooney. Berbatov and Nani available. Rooney in the penalty area. Tries to set himself up for a shot here. In the end, he's crowded up by Chelsea defenders. Ivanovic's clearance. Lukaku now trying to turn. Chelsea looking to counter. Mikel to Mata, and now Ramirez looking for Mikel. In comes Michael Carrick, and just manages to get enough on the ball to force Ramirez away. And now Young again taking on Bosingwa down that left hand side for Manchester United. Played the ball in behind Evra eventually gets it under control, and now Young stabs the ball to Berbatov. United just reasserting themselves again now after a bit of a rocky period in the second half. They're keeping the ball, they're moving, they're passing, and the crowd are enjoying it. And there's a big mount in the game for Chelsea now with 9 minutes to go.
That's the thing with Berbatov, Mike. That's what he'll do. He'll just come and drop off, get the ball, and make you have the ball if you're a United player, and make you keep passing it.
This is exactly what Sir Alex Ferguson wants at the moment: the passing, the moving, the retention of the ball, and then given away as they try something spectacular down the near side. And Chelsea have it once more, but they're running out of time. 3-1 doesn't really, if you're joining our commentary on 5 Live, tell the story of the game. In the first half, Chelsea had a lot of possession, had the better opportunities, yet somehow United contrived to score 3 times. First 2 goals were certainly controversial. Smalling, there was an offside when he headed in the free kick, and Nani was actually, technically speaking, in an offside position when he began the move, which led to the fantastic strike from him, and then Rooney tapped away a third just before half-time. And that ran kindly for Wayne Rooney. He's missed a penalty in the second half. Torres got one back after 30 seconds at the start of the second half. Torres has lost the ball easily. You think United have now come through their rocky period. They're getting more of the ball. The ball, though, ricochets away from them inside the centre circle. And Terry finds Anelka. He's got Bosingwa making a run on the outside. It comes in field to Ramirez. Ramirez forward to Torres. Great chance for Torres. Goes around the goalkeeper. Will score. Oh, no. What a horrendous miss. He went round the goalkeeper. He had to score. The goal was at his mercy. And somehow he puts the ball into the crowd. And that, in a nutshell, tells the story of Fernando Torres in September of 2011.
Well, what were we saying before? He did the instinctive bit, which was the movement, and round the goalkeeper. And then as he suddenly had to think about it, and his open net 6 yards out, left foot. I don't know how you describe that. He's hit it just sort of flat, and it's just arched and spiralled away. It was nowhere near the goal, absolutely nowhere near it.
Well, the Robert Earnshaw miss for Wales recently at Wembley was a bit of a shocker, but that one, I mean, he did it's a cliche, he did the difficult bit. He went round it here, and then what happened? Only he knows. He snatched at it, lost all composure. He could have had 4 in the game.
Yeah. He went for leg spin rather than off, didn't he? Just so wide of the goal.
Well, it was an appalling miss by Fernando Torres. Had he got his 4, Chelsea would be leading 4-3. But that's this wonderful game, this beguiling game of football, as now Mata is fouled by Fletcher, who'll get a yellow card. And it's an extraordinary scoreline in a sense, this, because, you know, if you're out of the country and you come back tomorrow and see that scoreline in the papers, you'll think that Manchester United have just run riot and had a comfortable afternoon, but it hasn't been that way.
No, that's the problem in the morning. You just get the score, you don't get the diagrams.
Mata, though, now. Free kick to Chelsea. Andre Villas-Boas, his first experience of Old Trafford, club level. He's on the end of a losing scoreline here, but he knows that Torres has had the chances. Penny for Abramovich's thoughts wherever he is. It's a free kick, and Mata will take it. Chipped in, good firm header away by Manchester United. Rooney on the edge of the area, runs into trouble. Mikel steals it away from him, but with too many red shirts in the way for Mikel. Has to bring it to this near side. Looking now to link up with Ramirez. Doing the tile. Berbatov gets a challenge in and releases Rooney, but he's all on his own inside the Chelsea half. He squirts the ball in field to Nani, who has a long way to go. John Terry's there as well. John Terry just can't get the ball off Nani, and now Young's there, and Rooney's calling for it, and in it goes. Rooney's header is straight at Cech.
Yeah, good move by Manchester United. Just going back to the Torres miss, the other thing, Mike, he could have actually stopped it with his left foot. He had that much time and just rolled it onto his right and just lollipopped it in.
I don't think I've ever commentated on such a miss. I mean, it really was. The whole of the goal was there at his mercy, and it. I mean, I just cannot understand what happened.
No.
Next,
Ronnie Rosenthal, I thought, took some missing.
It was.
It's well up there.
Well, you'll be seeing that time and time again. There is absolutely no defence and no excuse.
No.
And not only penny for Abramovich's thoughts, penny for Lou Macari's thoughts. Now Ashley Young over on the left-hand side for Manchester United as the game gets stretched and opens up, and Manchester United win a corner. And just to explain that, if you weren't with us earlier, Lou Macari, Manchester United legend, told us on this programme that he'd never particularly rated Fernando Torres, which caused a bit of a gasp and a sigh all around.
What I will say about Torres, second half, I think his movement's been very, very good. He took his goal extremely well. I think I'd be persevering with him, but the key will be Mata close to him.
Short corner, Ashley Cole. Yeah, persevere with him, Mark, but what about the confidence? I mean, how do you get over that?
Well, he's got a goal, and a goal is a massive, massive thing. I don't think any doubt about that. I just feel, and Chelsea fans might take heart from this, when Mata's on the ball for Chelsea in that central position just behind him, I think Torres' movement is much, much better. He moves like he thinks he's going to get the ball, and 7 times out of 10 he is.
The other thing about Torres now is that it just heightens the debate. It is not going to go away. Over the next 2 or 3 days, you can guarantee there'll be more discussion about Fernando Torres. He's blamed teammates for being too slow around him. Well, there he was, all on his own, and he couldn't deliver. Nani now for Manchester United. Valencia back into midfield, and Darren Fletcher given the ball away. Manchester United haven't been at their fluent best today, and yet they lead Chelsea 3-1. Nani now up against Ashley Cole, who's on a yellow card, remember. Fletcher again, and then Nani hits the ball off Torres, and it's going to be a throw-in to Manchester United near side. Torres restored to the Premier League starting lineup today, the only change that Villas-Boas made from last weekend.
I think in terms of Villas-Boas, I think he's had a very, very positive approach here, and that tells me a lot about him, how he's going to do.
Rooney now. Lovely ball from Rooney for Young, who's onside over on the left-hand side. Evra's tanking forward. Here comes Evra for Manchester United, but Ivanovic, strong defender, is there. Not only did Torres, not only could he have had 4, he also tried to set one up for Ramirez, who should have scored as well in the first half. Throw to Manchester United, closing in on a victory here, closing in on their 100% record and a 2-point lead over Manchester City, who let it slip at Fulham in a 2-2 draw today. Now it's Evra over on the United left. They just need to keep the ball now with a minute and a half to go, plus a couple of minutes at least of added time. Rooney overhits the pass. Young was offside anyway, and Cech to clear. Well, I mean, had Torres put that one away, and he really should have done, what a finale we would have had here at Old Trafford. Now they can start to leave here, as they tend to do early in, to try and beat the traffic, safe in the knowledge that it looks like Manchester United are going to record another victory over Chelsea. Long ball forward. Manchester United, who of course in 2011 coming into this game had success over Chelsea twice at Old Trafford in the Premier League and the Champions League. Now they're going to make it a hat-trick here today. Nani, nothing on for him ahead, so he finds Fletcher on the halfway line, and United just now moving it around and making Chelsea chase. Fletcher, who's had a tidy game in central midfield today. Valencia, the right back, gives it a bit of height to try and test Cole. Oh, Cole let it bounce. Nani will go in it with Ashley Cole. Cole's header in the end, but Nani had just fouled him, and the free kick is given to Chelsea.
Yeah, and that's the thing with Ashley Cole. He does make a mistake, Mike. He's got the pace to recover.
Waiting to see the fourth official here. Here he comes, Peter Walden, to tell us how much added time there will be. Maybe 3 minutes. Certainly there was a bit of a stoppage for Hernandez's injury. It's Manchester United 3, Chelsea 1 on 5 Live. Mikel, who's one of the Chelsea subs, now for Ramirez. That's overhit. Valencia easily takes it away from him. Nani again. Young's pointing, so is Rooney, but they only find the head of Terry. Cole now tucking in at left back once more. Finds Ramirez, and now Mikel at 5 minutes of added time. As Terry now immediately turned away when he hit that ball into the Chelsea half. He knew he hadn't directed it to the Bosingwa, and Rooney's onside. Chelsea are caught flat. Rooney can go all the way. Berbatov's in a better position to make it 4-1. Oh, he's missed. It's been scrambled off the line by Chelsea. Rooney could have gone all the way. He thought Berbatov was in a better position. Berbatov's effort was soft, and Ashley Cole was there to clear off the line.
In trying to make absolutely sure Berbatov, he's just stabbed at the ball, didn't he? Ashley Cole's, he's hurt himself as well, Ashley Cole, nicking the ball offline, but he just stabbed at it, and you knew straight as soon as Rooney got the ball, he saw where Berbatov was, you knew he was going to play it to him, and as I say, he just stabbed at it. In the end, it just bobbled towards the line, and that bobble gave Ashley Cole time to flick it away.
Well, this is no exaggeration to say it could be 5-all. As Nani now for Manchester United. Nani's ball in, and that's clipped away from Ivanovic, and Cech punches it with 2 fists away to the far side of the field. When you think of Rooney's penalty miss, Berbatov should have scored. Torres could have had 4. Ramirez also should have scored. It could easily be 5-all. It's 3-1 to Manchester United, and we're playing added time of 5 minutes, and we played a minute and a half of the added time. Berbatov gives the ball back, and United just have possession on the halfway line, and then that's a fantastic ball from Evans to find Rooney at walking pace now down the left-hand side. Lots of incident, lots of talking points. Villas-Boas, though, is about to face his first defeat in England with Chelsea. John saying earlier, no defeats at all in the league with Porto. And the ball is back with De Gea in the United goal, and he steers it towards Valencia. Valencia's header on. Berbatov doesn't really move for that. And Chelsea now, it'll just be a crumb of consolation if Chelsea can score, I think, with already 2 minutes of the 5 played. Lukaku hasn't really got into the game since he came on. Ball bobbles away. Mattis trying to get that for Chelsea. And in now comes Ramirez. Ramirez of Chelsea. 3-1 down here, closing moments of the game. Manchester United about to go 2 points clear of Manchester City. Chelsea building down the right-hand side. Anelka now taking on Carrick and winning a corner. Corner to Chelsea. Ivanovic and Terry will make the sort of token gesture now, I think, of going forward. But,
not enough talking points out of this game.
Not enough, no, not really. 2 minutes of added time to go. Corner kick to Chelsea. Ivanovic didn't get much of a head to that. United looking to clear, and they stab it out to Rooney. Ramirez just holding off, intercepting there. Rooney slides it to Evans, who's playing on the right wing at the moment. Still Villas-Boas is pointing down there, encouraging his side. United keeping it, showing a bit of experience, working it through the back line. Jones now to Fletcher, who's playing at centre-back because Evans had come to the right-hand side, and it's gone back to De Gea.
Yeah, the Chelsea punters.
What are they saying?
We're going to win the league.
Well, fascinating encounter here today. Villas-Boas would have, in defeat, learned a lot, though, I'm sure, about his players.
I think there's lots of positives for Chelsea, Mike, I really do.
Mikel for Bosingwa. United, though, quite happy for Chelsea just to have the possession. They're a long way out at the moment. Anelka, who provided a bit of sparkle, started the second half. Anelka still for Lukaku. It's just slow pace, though, now from Chelsea as we go into the last minute of added time. United clear. Berbatov, who should have made it 4-1. Berbatov all on his own over on the left-hand side. Carrick's given the ball away. And one last chance for Chelsea to go forward. Anelka's bringing it forward now halfway inside the Manchester United half. Lukaku, that's a good steer to the right-hand side. Mata now cuts in from the far touchline. The ball comes back into midfield and Mikel. Ashley Cole's 30 yards away from De Gea's goal. All the United players back inside their own half. Chelsea have got it, but they're not penetrating here. Long one forward, aimlessly played. That'll be just about the last bit of action here. 30 seconds to go. And Where does Frank Lampard fit in now, Mark, in the grand scheme of things?
Well, in the grand scheme of things, he may not fit in all honesty, because you wouldn't sort of play him as a holding midfield player, because if you're going to play this 4-2-3-1, you'd want Mireles or Ramirez in there because of the pace and power to recover if they make a mistake, and that would give you the platform, those two in front of the back four, to play, Anelka, Mata, Torres, all those players.
The final whistle resonates around Old Trafford. The United fans celebrate a 3-1 victory, which looks absolutely great, of course, on paper. It means that they are 2 points clear tonight. They still have a 100% record. And I tell you, that 3-1 scoreline doesn't really tell the whole story. Could have been 5-5. Fernando Torres missed an absolute sitter. But the story went like this. These were the goals that counted here today. Smalling first in the 8th minute with a header. He was offside. Then Nani with the best goal of the game from distance, although suspicion there of offside in the whole of the build-up. 3-0 before half-time, Rooney. Second half, Anelka comes on and makes a goal for Torres after 30 seconds. Rooney missed a penalty, Berbatov missed a sitter, Torres missed the sitter of the season. Final score, Manchester United 3, Chelsea 1.
This is Ian Payne live at Old Trafford for what has been an extremely open and lively game, and if you wanted an advert for the Premier League, I think you've just seen it, and these pictures beamed all around the world will certainly be appreciated in the Far East, in Africa, all over the world. And I think, Mark Lawrenson, the debate we were having beforehand about Fernando Torres is definitely going to be a subject for 606 tonight, with Lou Macari saying that he doesn't feel that he's ever been a great player. And I think a lot of people will have their opinion tonight, don't you?
Yeah, listen, I think he was a top player in Liverpool those first 18 months. I think he's an outstanding player, absolutely no doubt about it whatsoever. I am encouraged today in terms of the second half with Torres, with his movement. I think it was very, very good. I mean, he scored an outstanding goal as well, Ian. I know he's missed a massive sitter, and that'd be a great talk. He scored an outstanding goal, and I think that sort of Mata playing behind him, I really do think that's the way forward for Chelsea. And agreed with what Henry Winter said before, it may be a case now with Drogba where, Drogba out the club for Torres will make all the difference to him. It is a confidence thing. I think Villas-Boas is very clever. I think he'll go to him and say, great goal. Say nothing about the miss. I think you've got to accentuate the positives with him.
Actually, Mike Ingham, I was just thinking, I've never seen a game of this high quality with so many misses. And there were so many great chances, weren't there?
Well, and it just added to the intrigue and the drama, but just on the two sides, they often say that you learn more in defeat, and I think he's a student of the game, Villas-Boas. He'll be reviewing this game. I'm sure he'll watch it a couple of times over the next 48 hours or so, and he will see things that maybe will help him as he learns more and more about the English game towards the future. Thing about Manchester United here, and I wanted to make the point that when you think what they did in midweek, they prioritised this game. They made 8 changes in the Champions League, and they did exactly the same thing a year ago. They took out a lot of top players for the match against Rangers, and then in the very next game just managed to get through against Liverpool, which is what they've done here today. But I agree with you both. The problem for Torres is that it ain't going to go away, and I don't think that can't be a good thing for his confidence.
Lines are open now if you want to talk about this. Loads of people already texting us. Sam says, I thought Torres was a good player. However, I thought he was a great player. He's never had the skill of Rooney or the strength of someone like Drogba or Kevin Davis. And I think he's always been a better player than Torres. So I think Lou Macari and this game has set the agenda, maybe, for 606 tonight, unless you've got a different subject. Speak to Robbie Savage. Lines are open now, 0500 909 693. It does mean, of course, Mark Lawrenson, that they are 2 points clear at the top of the table, ahead of Manchester City, who had a 2-goal lead today at Fulham and drew 2-2. What does it say about the state of the two clubs at the moment?
Well, I think Manchester United are better, Ian, and I think they've got a certain mental strength that at the moment City can only wish they had. And I think from Manchester United's point of view, if they'd gone to Fulham today and been 2-0 up, I don't think they would have been pegged back 2-2, and someone's going to shout at me, oh, what about Everton last year when it was 3-1, whatever it was. But I think Manchester United are a different kettle of fish. They'd have gone for goals 3, 4 and 5. I'd be interested to know if City actually went to score more goals or not. So there is a difference. The disparity is getting smaller, but they have an unbelievable belief at this football club that they can win every single game, and they don't see any negatives in their performance. They haven't played very well today. They really haven't played well, and yet they've beaten Chelsea 3-1, who will be, along with City, their main rivals for the Championship.
Thanks for the moment. Let's hear from Roberto Mancini. His side, of course, were 2-0 up with 2 Sergio Aguero goals, but then Fulham got it back to 2-2 at the end, and Roberto Mancini said afterwards, frankly, he was at a loss to explain how it happened.
I don't know, but the football is this. The football match during 95 minutes, if you don't keep your concentration, if you are not strong enough until the end of the game, you can lose or you can draw like today.
But after 55 minutes at 2-0 up, you were so in control, weren't you? You couldn't have seen that coming.
For this is incredible. I think that we lost 2 points because after that we scored 2 goals, we dominated the game, we had all ball possession. But I think I hope that could be a lesson for us because when we have a chance, we should score.
You talked about that before the game from last week as well, to have a more ruthless streak. If you'd had it today, you would have won the game.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. But we had this problem because also in the last game against Wigan, in the first half, we had 15 chances to score. We scored only 1 goal. For this, I think that when you play now, I think that it's impossible to win always away. But today we dominated the game for 60 minutes. I can't believe that we did a draw.
You say it's a harsh lesson, and you've learnt it the hard way, the players today.
Yeah. It's important. It's important that it will be a lesson for us.
A lesson, certainly. If you want to talk about it, you can do so with Robbie Savage. Lines are open now, 0500 909 693. Monday Night Club will no doubt discuss this game and all the week's action with Chappers, Motti and Claridge tomorrow night from 7 o'clock. What else happened today? Well, United have beaten Chelsea here by 3-1. Tottenham thrashed 9-man Liverpool 4-0. Sunderland won by 4 against Stoke as well. Fulham and Manchester City drew 2-2. Southampton beat Birmingham 4-1. Loads of 4s today. Match of the day is going to be absolutely chock-a-block with goals and misses. Don't know where they're going to fit them all in. 10 o'clock on BBC 2 with Colin Murray. Rangers beating Celtic by 4-2. In the Aviva Premiership, Worcester were beaten 18-6 at Vicarage Road by Saracens. In the Davis Cup, Great Britain in the Europe-Africa zone finished off Hungary by 5-0. Surprise in the Engaged Super League playoff, Wigan Warriors beaten by St Helens 26-18. It means St Helens effectively go into the semi-finals, Wigan go into the quarter-finals. And latest score we had from Leeds Rhinos against Hull was Leeds 8, Hull 0. That's the elimination playoff. Whoever loses that goes out. 18-0, I'm told now. Some golf news. The Sevi Cup was won by Paul McGinley's Great Britain and Ireland side. They beat Continental Europe 15.5, 12.5 in France. And the Rugby Union World Cup today, England beat Georgia 41-10, Wales beat Samoa 17-10, and France beat Canada 46-19. Our thanks to all our team here at Old Trafford this afternoon, to Mark Lawrenson, to John Murray and to Mike Ingham. And it looks like it's going to be quite a lively match of the day, and also a very lively 6:06 with Robbie Savage. This is Ian Payne handing to Robbie. Good luck, Robbie.